Let's bring back in Ian Danter and the former Leeds manager, Neil Redfern. Neil, when you were at Leeds, there were sometimes some tumultuous times, some interesting owners. What would your advice be to someone like Henrik Pedersen in this kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation he finds himself in, but you can only deal with, the things that you can deal with as a coach or as a manager. He's got to try and isolate his players from what's going on around the club, and just to concentrate on the football and lose themselves in the football. It's important that he makes training enjoyable through the week. You've got to be upbeat all the time. It's difficult, because sometimes, who motivates the motivator. But it's a really tough task. But they've shown willingness in the games that they've played. There's no lack of effort, no lack of desire. I think the supporters have recognised that. But it's a really tough situation they find themselves in.
Speaking of the supporters, Neil, the Wednesday fans are planning to hold up a banner in protest to their ownership today. Wrexham have said that they will support that, and of course Wrexham are a club who've been in this situation where survival depended on the action of supporters. We saw the scenes at the start of the season with Wednesday where the Leicester fans were applauding them. It does feel like most football fans just want to see a situation like this sorted out for those Wednesday supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me and Dan were talking about it earlier, and it's really heartwarming when two sets of supporters come together for a common cause. I think the Sheffield Wednesday fans have handled this unbelievably well, with a lot of restraint. They've protested, but they've protested, in a polite way, if you like. They've not been, really badly putting the point across. So I think that, they've got to be listened to. It's a big club, and it's got a lot of proud history, and it's such a crying shame at this moment in time.
Sometimes as well, when a squad has their backs to the wall because of all sorts going on off the pitch, it can bring out that real connection, can't it, between the players and the fans. How much should the manager, Henrik Pedersen, be using that bond to try and inspire a decent performance again today? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, they've got the underdog tag, if you like it, every game that they go and play in, because they've only got a squad of 16 players. The backs are up against the wall, and they've got to come out with that sort of mentality. And I'm pretty sure that Henrik Pedersen will be saying that to his players. Look, if we can start well today, we can get his noses in front, get the first goal, put pressure on Wrexham. They're in a position where they need points. They've not got points this season, like Sheffield Wednesday haven't, but they've got to keep that mentality and keep that mental toughness. OK, the players are making their way out at the racecourse ground. Neil, thank you very much indeed. Still so much live football coming up for you, by the way, over this bank holiday weekend. Over on Talksport in just a moment, Adrian Durham is taking you round the grounds with all of the goals as they go in the EFL and in the Premier League. And don't forget, you can be the first to have your say on national radio on the game day phone-in from 5:30. Tomorrow, mark your card, because Sam Matterface brings you all of the Premier League action from 1:30 with Game Day Live on Talksport. And don't miss Monday night, a barnstormer at St James's Park as Newcastle take on Liverpool in what's being billed as the Alexander Isak derby. Right here, though, we're at the racecourse ground in the Championship. Both Wrexham and Sheffield Wednesday yet to pick up a point this season in the Championship. Who will get off the mark today? Taking you through the action, former Leeds manager Neil Redfern, alongside your match commentator, Ian Danter.
Thank you, Ollie, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2. Let's run you through the lineups, because players are ready for kick-off here at the racecourse ground. Wrexham will line up with Danny Ward in goal, Max Cleworth, Connor Cody and Lewis Brunt in a back three, Ryan Longman, George Dobson, Matty James, Lewis O'Brien and James McLean across midfield, and Nathan Broadhead making his first full start for Wrexham in behind Kiefer Moore in attack. As for Sheffield Wednesday, Ethan Horvath is their goalkeeper, just brought in on loan from Cardiff City yesterday because of an injury to first choice keeper Pierce Charles. Jan Valery, Dominic Iorfa, Max Lowe and Liam Palmer are in the back four. Svante Ingelsson, Barry Bannon and Olaf Kabatsky are the three in midfield, and then up front Charlie McNeil, Ike Ugbo and Bailey Kadamatri are the front three for the Owls, who are ready to get us underway in their regulation blue and white striped shirts with blue shorts and socks. Wrexham in the red shirts and socks and white shorts. We're sat towards the back of the Wrexham lager stand, the Yale stand as it used to be called. To our left is the empty stand where the Kop stand will be rebuilt. There was a temporary stand there last season. And to our right, the Stock Cold Brew coffee stand where the most vociferous Wrexham support resides. That's the end that Wrexham are defending in this first half. So they'll be attacking from right to left towards the open end to our left-hand side, but they'll have to get the ball off Sheffield Wednesday first and foremost. And it will be Charlie McNeil who will get us underway here at the racecourse ground. Our referee today, Farai Halam of Surrey, checking with the two goalkeepers that they're ready, blows his whistle, and we are underway on Talksport 2 in the Championship, with these two sides desperate to get their season off and running in terms of points haul. Liam Palmer with an early ball into the area. Look at the Svante Ingelsson, who tried to head it across goal from the left-hand side, and Wrexham managed to smuggle it half clear, and it ends up going out for a throw to Wrexham in their right-back position just ahead of the 18-yard line. But good early pressure from Sheffield Wednesday there, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, setting the stall out how they're going to play straight away, Sheffield Wednesday. That ball goes right into the final third where it's challenged, but you know, they've got to come here and play with confidence Wednesday and try and get a result if they can.
Ethan Horvath straight into the action, forced to come out of his own penalty area to help out Jan Valery, because piling towards goal was Lewis O'Brien, trying to get onto the loose ball in centre of midfield, but it was whacked out for a throw. Taken by Wrexham and worked back to halfway for the back three, first of Cleworth, then Connor Cody works it across to Lewis Brunt, still inside his own half, being pressurised by Ogbo. Already a goal in League One. Bolton 0, Lincoln City 1. Freddie Draper putting the Imps ahead in the first minute at the Tough Sheet. Here in the Championship, Connor Cody for Wrexham. Floats a lovely ball out to Longman on the right-hand side. Prefer to Ryan Barnett in that right wing-back position for Wrexham today. Ball goes out of play, caught by Phil Parkinson. Now that the dugouts have been moved to that Macron stand side of the ground for this season, and Sheffield Wednesday have a throw. Minute and a half gone, 0-0.
Yeah, nice little spell of possession there for Wrexham, moving the ball across the back. I think Connor Cordy's going to have a really important role in that central position at the back for Wrexham today. His experience is going to be vital, because you know, it's important that they get off to a good start. Clean sheets, everything. If you can keep a clean sheet today, the chances are, you know, they'll nick one against Sheffield Wednesday, but it's all to play for.
Looks to me like Valery is playing as a centre-half alongside Iorfa today, rather than as a full-back. Palmer right-back and Max Lowe left-back for Sheffield Wednesday. Barry Bannon, of course, patrolling the midfield.
Well, we know Barry Bannon will drop between the two centre-backs if he can. Try and get on the ball, facing the press, and start play from there. But they've set the stall out quite well in these opening exchanges Wednesday.
Henrik Pedersen with this thankless task of trying to build a squad with nothing to work with. And there are protests again from Sheffield Wednesday fans today. Black and gold until we're sold is the cry. Kiefer Moore for Wrexham at 0-0. Trying to move down the right-hand side, but he ran into a forest of blue and white shirts and couldn't get through them. Cleared away. Northampton 1, Exeter 0. I think that's the first goal in senior football for Ethan Wheatley on loan from Manchester United for Northampton, who've had a pretty torrid start under Kevin Nolan so far this season. Northampton yet to win this season, but they are now ahead at home in League One. Wrexham have won a free kick, as there was a little clip on George Dobson as he tried to bring the ball clear, taken quickly by Cleworth, back for Connor Cody. And he works a little 1-2 in midfield with another vastly experienced former Leicester player in Matty James. Now Cleworth works it back to Cody.
I think this is where Cody's experience is going to come in, Dance, to be honest with you. It's important that he keeps that cool head and they get on the ball and keep the possession, because the last thing that Wednesday want is not being able to get a touch. And they're moving the ball about the back three really well at the moment.
And it is being worked out to the right-hand side of that three, and Max Cleworth out to Longman, just inside the Wednesday half. Clipped down the right-hand side by Dobson, but there's an offside flag up against the new man, Nathan Broadhead, making his first full start this afternoon for Wrexham after his move from Ipswich. 3.8 million quid. He was born in Bangor, was a Wrexham youth player before he joined up with Everton's youth as a kid. So the prodigal son returns, I guess, Neil Redfern.
Knows his way to the ground then.
He does.
just timed his run, just went a little bit too early there. He didn't really need to, because they'd squeezed quite high there, Sheffield Wednesday. That ball was just left in the grass behind.
Horvath's free kick from Sheffield Wednesday goes straight out of play for a throw into Wrexham inside their own half. Horvath brought in the American goalkeeper yesterday by Sheffield Wednesday. Cardiff City is his parent club. Cardiff have won today, in case you're not aware. They won by a goal to nil at Luton at lunchtime to go top of League One for a few hours at least. See how Stevenage get on today. Here comes Sheffield Wednesday. First time really this afternoon with 4 minutes gone. Liam Palmer plays the ball in field to Bannon. He lays it back to Valerie, just inside the Wrexham half here. Valerie gets it back and snakes forward a little bit further for the Owls. Gets to the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Eventually runs into the challenge at the back of James McLean, and out it goes for a Wednesday throw in front of the fans down to our right-hand side. We can't see the travelling Wednesday contingent, but they're making themselves heard, and it's a throw to the Owls, 0-0.
Yeah, it's a good little bit of play by Sheffield Wednesday there. No surprise that Barry Bannon's right at the centre of it. So comfortable in possession with great vision and awareness.
Svante Ingelsson is going to take the throw, just slightly obscured from my view. He will come into view as he hurls it into the penalty area, looking for a flick on. It was flicked up in the air by Ugbo, not the most clever of clearances from Wrexham, and it will drop for Ingelsson again. Support from Valerie down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Has to work it back for Bannon. Bannon just strokes it back to the halfway line, where Max Lowe in turn will give it back to his goalkeeper Horvath, who's standing midway point of his own half. Oh, hits it against Broadhead, but the ricochet took it out of play for a throw. Nervous moment for the new Sheffield Wednesday keeper. 0-0. We played 6 minutes on Talksport too.
Yeah, it did really well there, Nathan Broadhead, because made up that 10-15 yards really quickly to put Horvath under pressure. If it were ricocheted into his path, it would have been open goal.
First Premier League goal of the 3 o'clocks goes in at the Vitality. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0. Marcus Tavernier puts the Cherries ahead. Earlier today, what a result. Tottenham Hotspur winning 2-0 at Manchester City. You heard it on Talksport at lunchtime. Jamie O'Hara will be insufferable on the phone in later with Jason Cundy. And Harrogate 0, Chesterfield 1 in League 2. Ronan Darcy for Chesterfield. Start the season well under Paul Cook. Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday with 7 minutes gone. Just inside the Wrexham half to the right of centre. Bannon, of course, directing operations. Wrexham holding their line at the edge of the D, away to our right-hand side, defending that coffee stand end to our right-hand side. Bannon's left-footed delivery up into the air. It's nodded down to the edge of the box and hooked away by Lewis O'Brien, but nobody in a red shirt on halfway. So there's time for Max Lowe to guide it back to his keeper, Horvath, who has it just in front of his 18-yard box this time. And the referee spotted a head injury, maybe a bit of blood for Connor Cody, who went up for a challenge and is holding his nose. I think he might have just clonked one on the hooter there, as they were trying to clear their lines. Wrexham 0-0. Yeah,
they were brave, to be fair. He stuck his head on that when it needed it. But it was a decent ball in from Barry Bannon, and when you can see the effects of Barry Bannon already in this game, and we're only 10 minutes into it. You know, he's dictating play. It's not what Wrexham are wanting really, but just think they just need to step onto Wednesday a little bit and put them to task.
That's the voice of Neil Redfern you can hear alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the racecourse ground. And whilst Connor Cody gets some treatment, sat down midway point of his own half, all the other players, or most of the other outfield players, go across to the dugouts on the far side to take on a bit of water and a bit of impromptu coaching. Swindon 1, Shrewsbury 0 in League 2. Aaron Drinnan for the Robins. What a horrible start for Shrewsbury Town and Michael Appleton this season. Just 1 goal scored all season, no points. Having a rotten time of it in League 2. But Swindon, under Ian Holloway, who had such a great rally second half of last season, starting the season well. We noticed this referee Farai Hallam warming up. What a specimen he looks. He looks like he could play in the back three for Wrexham if Connor Cody can't continue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's obviously played, you can see that. So he should have a good understanding of the game. But
well, this is what we keep talking about. Should ex-players become referees? And this is only Farai Hallam's second full season as a referee in the EFL. Will certainly keep up with play. Sheffield Wednesday coming forward with Ugbo down the left-hand side for Ingleson. Bannon tucks it up to Ugbo again at the edge of the area. Uses his strength to hold off Cleworth. Down the left-hand side, Ingleson drives it across, and it's just skimming over the head of Liam Palmer, who said, I didn't get a touch on that, and the throw's been given Wrexham's way. It looked like a deflection off the cross down the left-hand side of the box from Ingleson, and it just raced through the penalty area. Palmer couldn't get near it with his head, and it's out of play for a throw to Wrexham in their left-back position, 0-0.
Yeah, fantastic ball into the box, struck with pace. I think just skimmed perhaps a Wrexham defender because he misjudged that totally, to be fair. Palmer, he's coming in at the back stick looking for it, but they were just without Conor Cody there as well for a split second till he came back on with his head injury.
Colchester 0, Barrow 1 in League 2. Barrow only got one league win so far, but they lead through Jack Earing at the job serve. Wrexham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on Talksport 2. We've played 10 minutes here at the racecourse. O'Brien for Wrexham tries to nod it down for Kiefer Moore, but that's tidied up at the back by the giant Dominic Iorfa at the back. It's got to be 6'5", 6'6", Dominic Iorfa. Jan Valery, once of Southampton, clips it across to Ingleson on halfway on the far side of the field from us in front of the Macron stand, and it's worked back for Dominic Iorfa. Plays a 1-2 with Valery. The pass back to him is a bit short, so he just has to get rid of it early, and Palmer tried to nod it back in play, but it was over the touchline before he got his head to it. Wycombe 1, Reading 0 in League 1. Fred Onyedinma for Wycombe, who've not started the season too brightly under Mike Dodds, but they've got the lead there at Adams Park. Good pressure on the ball from Bailey Cadamarteri to force another Wrexham throw in their left-back position. 11 minutes gone in the Championship here at the Racecourse Ground. Wrexham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Yeah, I have to say, Dance, that they've been quite impressive, Sheffield Wednesday, in these opening exchanges. Very composed on the ball. Obviously you're going to be, if you've got a character like Barry Bannon in there pulling the strings, but they've been really competitive as well. They've got a physical presence, they look balanced, they looked organised. This is going to be a test for Wrexham.
It's back with Ethan Horvath, the goalkeeper. Right-footed, clears it out to the right-hand side. Again, he was looking for Palmer, and again it's drifted out of play. And Palmer's telling his goalkeeper, no, stick it down the middle, mate. Don't send it to me. So another throw-in for Wrexham that Lewis Brunt is going to take. About 15 yards from the halfway line. Throws it into Matty James, gives it back to Brunt. He's being pressurised by McNeil, but it's worked back to Cody, who seems to be none the worse for wear after the little knock he took earlier. You're with Talksport 2, game day exclusive in the EFL. We've already brought you Leicester's 1-0 win at Charlton at lunchtime, courtesy of an Abdul Fatawu special early in the second half. But no goals yet here at the racecourse. Brunt for Wrexham, plays it back to Cody at the edge of the D.
Just a note on this, Dance, as they're playing the ball across the back, you can see they're playing a really high line, Sheffield Wednesday, and that's what it needs. You know, a forward runner, somebody that's going to run beyond the time they run.
And that's what Ryan Longman's trying to do down the right-hand side for Wrexham, and he's taken out by Max Lowe. Free kick, says the referee, down the right-hand side of the penalty area, tight to that far touchline, and a chance for Wrexham to look for the big guns in the box from this free kick, 0-0.
Yeah, and it needed that. It was a well-timed run and a good pass to find him, and it is a foul on that far side. I just think from Wrexham's point of view, they've got to try and get the runners on the ball in behind, try and stretch this back line of Sheffield Wednesday. You know, you don't want to give them any encouragement.
Coventry 1, QPR 0 in the Championship. Has you right, the American gives Cov the lead. Notts County lead Bromley by a goal to nil. What a great start Bromley have had, but Matt Dennis has put County ahead. And Fleetwood lead Oldham by a goal to nil through Ched Evans. Ryan Norman has left it for Matty James to take this free kick from the right-hand side for Wrexham. Floats it into the area, overhead of everybody. Moore's chasing after it, but that's... Well, is that well defended by Sheffield Wednesday, or is that a poor free kick from Wrexham?
I think it's a bit of both, isn't it? You know, they were really uptight against the blue and white defenders of Sheffield Wednesday. There was no room really to get the ball in. If they'd gone closer to the goalkeeper, they'd just come and got it, but it ended up being a poor ball that went behind everybody.
Well, they haven't met here in the league, Wrexham and Sheffield Wednesday, for just over 20 years, and that was League One level when they last met. Sheffield Wednesday won by 3-0. They've just given away a free kick as Broadhead was trying to get away, and the referee wants a word with Jan Valery for a little pull back on the shirt.
Yeah, you see, that's the type of thing that you don't want to be doing. They've started off this game really well, Sheffield Wednesday. And he starts running with the ball there, Jan Valery, and he runs into trouble, and it gives Wrexham a free kick in a really dangerous position.
So this free kick for Wrexham is just past the midway point of the half, and it's about 11-12 yards in from the near touchline to us as we sit in the Yale stand, with the open end to our left where the Kop stand is going to be rebuilt. That's the end that Wrexham are attacking in this first half. It's going to be a left-footed delivery from Lewis O'Brien. Wednesday holding their line on the 18-yard line, really compressing the play. In it comes from O'Brien, lovely delivery. Moore nods it down and gets it in at the second attempt to put Wrexham ahead. And after Sheffield Wednesday had started well, they give away 2 free kicks. And from the second of those, at the second attempt, Kiefer Moore fires it home. And it's Wrexham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
What a fantastic ball in. Brilliant ball in by Lewis O'Brien. But it's a needless free kick given away. He's going nowhere there, Jan Valery. Just needs to play that ball down the line into the front. The free kick's given away. But what a quality ball in by Lewis O'Brien. And it's a really good effort from Kiefer Moore. And it ricochets to him. As it drops, he strikes it beautifully. There's still a lot to do. It's a high tariff. The ball bounces high, but he keeps it down beautifully. It's a great start for Wrexham.
On his 50th appearance, he scores his 15th goal for Wrexham, Kiefer Moore. And he kept his head when his initial header was blocked, and it came straight back to him, right-hand side of the area. Didn't have to put a great deal of power in the shot, did he, Neil Redfern? Just guide it, and the keeper was beaten as soon as it left his boot. Yeah,
it was 2 bits of quality, to be honest with you. The ball in's fantastic. As soon as you get these big lads of Wrexham attacking and coming onto the ball, facing the goal, then you've got a problem. And it was played in between the back line. And I just feel from Kiefer Moore's point of view, that's just going to give him so much confidence now. You know, all the energy and quality that he gives them up front, and he holds the ball for the team. But goals are what it's all about for strikers. He's got his name on the score sheet today.
Wrexham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. We've played 16.5 minutes of this first half on Talksport 2. Brentford lead Aston Villa in the Premier League by 1-0. Dango Ouattara, first goal for him in a Brentford shirt. Here comes Sheffield Wednesday down the left-hand side of the area. Great defending from George Dobson to win the ball back on the 18-yard line. Had to make that challenge work. Otherwise, Sheffield Wednesday were potentially in on goal through Bailey Cadamarteri. And in the end, it goes out of play for a Wednesday throw left-hand side. 1-0 Wrexham.
Yeah, good reaction from Sheffield Wednesday, to be fair. No heads going down, straight on the front foot, up the other end. It's the reaction that you want to have from your team. I just feel the free kicks are nonsense from Jan Valery. Just didn't need to do it.
So Svante Ingelsson will take another long throw from the far side, the Sheffield Wednesday left here. Plenty in the box. Looking to get on the end of this. He actually goes short and gives it to Olaf Kabatski. Gives it back to Ingelsson. Lovely drifted ball in. It's Kiefer Moore back defending to head it half clear. Drops for Bannon at the edge of the area. Tried to improvise a volley, but it ricocheted comfortably through for Danny Ward, who immediately clears from hands, looking to get Broadhead away. But Max Lowe wins the header just inside his own half, and Kabatski turns it over the halfway line, looking for the run of either Cadamarteri or Ugbo. Doesn't drop for Sheffield Wednesday though, and Wrexham have it back, and they win a throw. Elsewhere, Northampton 2-0 upon Exeter in League One. Max Dyche, son of Sean, gets the second for the Cobblers. And elsewhere in League One, Mansfield 1, Leyton Orient 0. Regan Hendry putting the Stags ahead at the one call. 1-0 here to Wrexham on Talksport 2.
Just taking that action back to the goalkeeper, Danny Ward there. He cleared really early when he could have just held onto the ball for a little while and got his back line up the pitch. Just manage the game. You get your noses in front, make it difficult for the opposition. That ball came straight back onto the Wrexham back line.
Here is Nathan Broadhead on his first full start for his new club, Wrexham. Worked out to Longman, right-hand side. Got the better of Kabatski, running for the dead ball line. 3 to Weymouth for the cross. Moore is one of them and heads it over the bar. Good delivery from Ryan Longman. Moore got up at the far stick but couldn't keep his header down. And it's a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Wrexham still 1-0 up.
Yeah, brilliant ball from Ryan Longman. Just teasing the goalkeeper off his line, curling away from him into the path of Kiefer Moore. And he's so unlucky. Defended it well really in the end to knock him off his stride slightly, but which forced his header to go over the bar. But he's on the end of stuff, Kiefer Moore. That's what he's all about. He needs that service.
I find it interesting that Ryan Longman's preferred to Ryan Barnett, whose delivery from the Wrexham right is really high quality, but based on that run and cross there, Longman more than deserves the opportunity this afternoon. He left Olaf Kabatsky for dead on that far side. 19 and a half gone, Wrexham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on Talksport 2. Both these sides, remember, starting the afternoon without a championship point to their name. Header on halfway from Dobson. He wanted a foul against him, but nothing doing, said the referee. So it is back with Sheffield Wednesday trying to play a crossfield ball and get Palmer in. It is a lovely ball. It's found Liam Palmer down the right-hand side of the area. Ball lifted to the far post by McNeil, but a comfortable catch. In the end, the second time of asking for Danny Ward. It's 1-0 to Wrexham here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, bread and butter that for a decent keeper. Better as well with his distribution. Just settled everything down, rolled the ball out.
Oh, a poor touch from Nathan Broadhead. Goes straight up play for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. Right on the far side, Henrik Pedersen and Phil Parkinson both at the edge of their technical areas. Pedersen, who was Danny Roll's assistant, now has the onerous task of getting Sheffield Wednesday out of trouble with next to no players to work with. But they do have another long throw opportunity here. It's far enough down that far left-hand touchline for Svante Ingelsson to think, right, I can power this into the 18-yard box, and Iorfa and Valerie have come up from the back, sensing that they can get something on this. Ingelsson hurls it in, gets great distance on the throw, headed out by Kiefer Moore defending, picked up in midfield by Kabatsky, but then he's lost out, and away comes Lewis O'Brien, but quickly back to defend is Charlie McNeil, and works it back to his keeper Horvath, and Sheffield Wednesday clear. And Cleworth threw Kadamatri to the ground right in front of the referee. In fact, forgive me, it was Valerie who'd stayed forward, who was wrestled to the ground, and Sheffield Wednesday get a free kick just inside the Wrexham half. And Valerie needs some treatment here.
Yeah, they don't want any more injured, do they? With a squad of 16. Just going back to that action there, but just this shows the importance of Kiefer Moore. That's twice now he's headed the ball clear in his own penalty area. You know, not only is he putting his team in front, and the other goal he's clearing it off the line and heading it out at the other end. I just think, you know, this is more like a Wrexham performance, to be honest with you. They're getting the ball into wide areas, they're getting good quality into the box, and they look dangerous.
Neil Redfern, you can hear there alongside me, Ian Dancer. Don't forget, Talksport Breakfast back on Monday morning with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist to run through all the stories of the weekend when you wake up to start your week. If you want a bit of music to start your week, there's always Chris Evans with the Virgin Radio Breakfast Show from 6:30 weekdays. And White and Jordan will be reunited with Martin Keown from 10 a.m. on Monday morning. For some reason, Jim and Simon seem to push Martin's buttons. Don't know quite what it is, but it normally leads to some fiery stuff. And if Arsenal don't get the win against Leeds a little bit later, and Martin could be up for a bit of...
they'll be rubbing their hands.
Oh, they will be rubbing their hands. Hearts 0, Motherwell 1 in Scotland. Callum Slattery giving the Mothers the lead. Notts County 1, Bromley 1. Bromley equalised through Ben Thompson. And Bannon takes the free kick for Sheffield Wednesday, a goal down. Looking for Iorfa, drifts beyond him to Liam Palmer. Down the right-hand side for Wednesday. Ingleson's there with him on this near touch line. Works it in field to McNeil, back to Lowe. Lowe plays the ball across to Bannon once more. Valerie waiting to be reintroduced, having gone off the field after treatment. Bannon still has it, just in front of the halfway line. Kabatsky, lovely turn. Oh, he worked it down the left-hand side of the box, thinking Bannon had gone on the reverse run behind him, but he hadn't. He actually checked his run a little bit, and the ball just trickles over the dead ball line. And Wrexham get themselves a goal kick. We're midway through the first half on Talksport 2. It's 1-0 here to Wrexham. Coventry now 2-0 up on QPR. On a pretty important day for Coventry, they now own the stadium that they've never owned before, the CBS Arena. And Brandon Thomas Asante has their second against QPR. Good start to the season for the Sky Blues. Goal kick is headed back towards halfway for Sheffield Wednesday by Iorfa. Bannon touches it down well enough so that Kabatsky could get a piece of it. Max Lowe just hoofs it into the Wrexham half, over the head of Cleworth, who's forced to head it back towards his own dead ball line. Across comes Cody and prevents the corner, but that's going to be another long throw, I suggest, coming in from Sheffield Wednesday down their far left-hand side. 1-0 to Wrexham.
Yeah, more good work from Bailey Cadamatri, to be honest with you. He's played with real energy up there. You know, they're under pressure. As soon as the ball goes in the air and the Wrexham defenders are underneath it, he's after it. He forces the throw-in. It's a good position for him.
10 yards from the corner flag on that far left-hand side for Sheffield Wednesday. Svante Ingelsson ready to take it. Hurls it into the near post. It's taken down on the near post by Valerie, but he just couldn't keep his feet. And the ball got away from Nathan Broadhead as Wrexham tried to clear. And so it's a throw-in to Wrexham, but maybe not close enough for a long throw into the box. It's only 10 or 15 yards inside the Wrexham half this time, so Ingelson's left it for Max Lowe. No, he's actually given it to Ingelsson. He does fancy winding himself up for another long throw.
Yeah, it's very uncomplicated what they're doing, Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, when they do get the ball down, they pass it, particularly with Bannon on it. It's good, but you know, every chance they get to get the ball in the box, they're trying to do it.
So Ingelsson again hurls the ball in. Again, great distance. Kiefer Moore there again to head it clear for Wrexham. Comes back to just in front of the centre circle, and Wednesday have it again with Ingelsson. First time a left-footed ball, lovely ball. Palmer coming in at the far post, doesn't drop for him. Iorfa tries to keep his feet. McNeil goes for goal and it's deflected wide for a corner kick by James McLean, and Sheffield Wednesday have a corner away to our right. 1-0 to Wrexham.
Yeah, not convincing at all by Wrexham. The defending can't clear the ball. They get bodies in and around it. The first initial effort is blocked, but that's a decent strike in the end, and it's blocked and it goes away for a corner. It's a good response by Wednesday.
So Barry Bannon goes across to where the main stand that we're sat in meets the coffee stand away to our right-hand side, the university end. Barry Bannon swirls the kick to the far post. Iorfa goes up across the 6-yard line. McLean gets something on it, but it comes back out to Bannon on the right-hand side. They're going to jockey Matty James and maybe get past him to pull the ball back from the dead ball line. Can they get a touch in the 6-yard box? Wednesday, no. McLean brings it away for Wrexham, hits it up in the air, but it's only half cleared. Nodded back down for Bannon, works it down the right-hand side of the area. Valerie can't keep hold of it, and it's cleared away hurriedly by O'Brien, but Sheffield Wednesday just trying to hem Wrexham in here. Bannon again, works it down the right-hand side for McNeil. Down the right-hand side of the box for Ingelsson, tries to give it back to him. McLean can't prevent the corner kick, and Sheffield Wednesday keeping the pressure on, but they're a goal down. Goal down to Wrexham here.
Yeah, sensing the blood here, smelling the blood. Wednesday, great little bit of pressure there. Some good interplay, little give and goes in and around the box. 2 or 3 block. One of the blocks has gone out for a corner. Great reaction from Wednesday.
West Brom 1, Portsmouth 0. Mikey Johnston for West Brom at the Hawthorns. Grimsby lead at Accrington Stanley. Great start to the season for Grimsby. And Stockport 0, Burton Albion 1. Bannon's corner into the 6-yard box is cleared away on the bounce by Wrexham defenders. And now away comes Broadhead, looking to release Longman, who got away down the inside left channel, but Max Lowe, good defending from the Sheffield Wednesday number 3, read the danger, got his boot to it and just hoofed it back to the Wrexham goalkeeper. 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, the last 10 minutes maybe, it's all been Sheffield Wednesday. You know, the build-up play's been good, they've got good ball in the box, they've got some dangerous situations. You just need to work the goalkeeper a little bit more, but it's a good reaction from them.
Wrexham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. If you're just tuning into Game Day exclusive in the EFL on Talksport 2 with 28 minutes played. Connor Cody at the back for Wrexham, works it up to the halfway line where it's laid off by Broadhead to James. Now Cleworth finds Dobson just shy of the halfway line, just skips away from Bow and then plays the ball back to square to find Cody once again. Lewis Brunt works his way into the Sheffield Wednesday half of the ball at his feet, plays a short 1-2 with Lewis O'Brien. Now Brunt's faced up by Bannon, has to go back into his own half for Connor Cody. Cody strokes the ball along the deck, looking for Broadhead to turn it around the corner, but can only find Bannon. Now Svante Ingelsson tries to drive forward, support down the left-hand side from Kabacki, the Polish left-handed midfielder. Couldn't get past the attentions of Longman in the end, and away come Wrexham inside their own half. And Lewis Brunt will find James McLean. It's still 1-0 to Wrexham as we approach the half hour on Talksport 2.
Yeah, a little bit better from Wrexham there when they got on the ball. They worked the ball through the thirds, got in around that final third. It's not been convincing at times. You know, they are leading 1-0, but they probably do deserve it, the early exchanges, but they're still in this game, Sheffield Wednesday, no two ways about it.
Danny Ward under pressure from Cadamarteri, managed to get the ball clear. Guided back to Cody. Again, it's worked back to Danny Ward, and again Cadamarteri closes down the space, but that's a good pass from Ward to find Brunt, who can get towards the halfway line in possession unchallenged until Bannon comes across. Now Matty James lays it off to Cody. Forward is the cry from about 2 rows behind us here in the main stand. They're taking their time about getting the ball up into that final third, Wrexham, but they have the lead, let's not forget. Mansfield have a 2-0 lead against Leyton Orient in League One. Regan Hendry with his and Mansfield's second of the afternoon. Here's Lewis O'Brien finding the goal scorer Kiefer Moore. Broadhead, centre of the Sheffield Wednesday half. Finds Dobson, urged to shoot. Sits straight at Horvath, and Kiefer Moore tucks in the rebound. Awful goalkeeping from Ethan Horvath on his debut for Sheffield Wednesday. Couldn't hold on to the shot from George Dobson. Just poked it straight out at Kiefer Moore, who said, "Thank you very much. I'll have a second of the afternoon," and make it Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on the half hour.
Yeah, you know what? The goals come from patience. Really good play, work the ball across the pitch. You know, linking passes, connecting passes, getting the switch on initially, and then finding Dobson maybe 15, 20 yards out from the edge of the box. He has a touch, opens up, strikes it well, but it's straight at Howarth, and he's got to do better than that. But who's Johnny on the spot? Kiefer Moore, 2-0. It's nothing more than the big man's deserved. He's been everywhere on this pitch. Been definitely at both ends of the pitch, clearing and defending at one end and scoring both the goals at the other.
So suddenly Kiefer Moore is on a hat-trick. And we've played 31 minutes at the racecourse. And Sheffield Wednesday once again staring down the barrel. Oof. And a strong challenge from Ingleson on Brunt at the edge of the Wrexham penalty area, right under the referee's nose. You heard the oof that challenge got from Neil Redfern alongside me. AFC Wimbledon lead Barnsley. Neil's old team by a goal to nil at Plough Lane. Matty Stevens scoring again for the Dons. And now a penny for the thoughts of Henrik Pedersen.
Yeah, I just think they've you know, that little bit of momentum by getting on the ball and working it and connecting passes and being brave in tight areas, which they've done, Wrexham. It's got them in a good position in front of goal, and they end up being a really good finish from Kiefer Moore.
So Wrexham have it in their own penalty area, with Danny Ward being preferred to Arthur Okonkwo at the moment as the first choice Wrexham keeper. Brunt brings it forward up to Kiefer Moore. Heavy touch from him, but he was pushed in the back by Iorfa, and it ends up being a free kick to Wrexham. Notts County 2, Bromley 1. Notts County back in front, and another one from Matt Dennis. And down the right hand side, Ryan Longman gets the better of Kabatsky, works his way in field, goes for goal, and again Horvath doesn't hold it. He sort of beats it out with his palms and then clutches hold of it. Didn't look the most certain goalkeeping, but he dealt with it all the same. 32 minutes played. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Yeah, you can see the confidence oozing from Wrexham now. That second goal's just settled them down a little bit. Playing with a lot more confidence. There's just one or two heads just starting to drop a little bit for Sheffield Wednesday. You know, it's a terrible predicament they're in, but they can't afford to be like that. They've got to get their heads up and they've got to go and fight again. You know, they're in this game, but they need the next goal. There's no two ways about it.
Here's Jean Valery for the Owls, just getting over the halfway line. Plays the ball infield to Cadamarteri. Tucked out to Palmer, does well to keep it in play on this near side, but Wrexham win it back with O'Brien. He finds James and Dobson, whose shot was too hot for Horvath to handle. Back it goes to Dobson again. Lovely ball out to Max Cleworth, who can get up to the halfway line, looking for a diagonal ball for Kiefer Moore. Out comes Horvath to the edge of his area and clutches hold of it gratefully for Sheffield Wednesday. 2-0 the score.
Yeah, good goalkeeping there from Horvath, because he gets his distances right. It's a great spot, diagonal ball, looking for Kiefer Moore, but his hands are safe and he collects that.
Down the right hand side it goes from Wrexham, back to the goalkeeper again, Danny Ward. Ugbo thinks about closing down the space. Doesn't get near him in the end, although keeper gets it back now from Lewis Brunt and smacks it right-footed, looking for Kiefer Moore just over the halfway line. Wins the flick on, but O'Brien can't pick up the seconds. It was dealt with by Valerie. Back it goes to Brunt. O'Brien on halfway. Finds Matty James, clips it in field for Broadhead, takes it neatly on his chest, works it down the left-hand side of the area for James McLean. And the offside flag goes up against McLean. And I think he was just a shade offside, in fairness to the official on that far side.
That's great defending by Palmer as well, though. Tracked his man all the way back. It's a great run from McLean, little give and go. Slid him in behind, but he tracked him all the way back in.
Bristol Rovers 1, Cambridge United 0. Ellis Harrison gets Bristol Rovers ahead at the Mem. Here at the racecourse, Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. If you're just tuning in to Game Day exclusive from the EFL, live here in North Wales, where Wrexham, looking for their first points of the season, have got themselves a 2-goal cushion against Sheffield Wednesday, who themselves are looking to get points on the board for the first time this campaign. Good skill from Bailey Cadamartri to hold the ball up. Ingleson works his way in field for Wednesday, up to the edge of the area. Little turn from Ugbo, just couldn't get the ball out from under his feet to get the shot away. Wrexham got it half clear, but Bannon finds McNeil and out to Palmer on the Wednesday right. Level with the 18-yard line, plays it back in field for Barry Bannon once more. Bannon drifting towards the edge of the area. Little left-footed ball in, looking for Ugbo, but it's overhit, and a comfortable claim for Danny Ward, who immediately tried to clear from hands again to get Kiefer Moore away, but it skims out a play on the far side, like a pebble skimming off the lake for a throw into Sheffield Wednesday on the left-hand side.
He just needs to be careful with his distribution, Danny Ward, because there's a couple of times now he's played it far, far too early. When his team have been under pressure, just needs to give his back line a bit of a breather. Give him a chance to get up the pitch.
Coventry City 3, QPR 0 now. Jack Rudoni with the third for Cov. A great start to the season for Frank Lampard and the Sky Blues. Good start here today for Wrexham, who are 2 goals up with 8.5 minutes of the first half remaining on Talksport 2. And they have possession with James McLean, such an industrious worker down the flanks for Wrexham. It's his vast experience that he's brought to bear since his arrival here. Back it goes to Max Cleworth, midway point of his own half. Plays a short pass for Dobson. Longman right in front of the dugouts on the far side of the field, gives it back to Dobson. Lovely drop of the shoulder to get away from Bannon and finds Nathan Broadhead. Broadhead spots Longman right hand side. He can pick it up, 3 to aim at for the cross. Broadhead has it again inside the area right hand side, goes for the dead ball line. Bannon slides in and wins the ball whilst he's on the deck and clears it out for a throw. That's really well done from Barry Bannon, but it is still 2-0 to Wrexham.
Yeah, brilliant tracking from Barry Bannon. I mean, he's only a little guy, but he gets in low, just hooks that ball away from the attacking Wrexham players. I just think that Wednesday now, they've just got to keep going. They've got to keep going, because if they let the heads drop and it goes to 3-0, then it's a mountain to climb. But they've shown little glimpses in this game. I know it's a difficult situation they're in, but they've got to lose themselves in this game and try and make the best of it.
It is a pretty horrid time for Sheffield Wednesday. Think of Windass, who's here now at Wrexham, Smith, Ihikwe, Patterson, Kasama, Valentin, amongst those players who've left in the window when they didn't have to. And forward come Wrexham again at 2-0 at match. Cleworth piling forward this time. Looks for Broadhead at the edge of the area. Great foot in from Iorfa. Stayed on his feet and got that right foot in just to clobber it away from danger. Now it's worked back to the goalkeeper, who's been closed down by Moore, but Horvath gets a left-footed clearance up to halfway. And Brunt, who's the last man back, under pressure from Ugbo, but manages to get it clear. Iorfa sends it back from whence it came, and he'll have it again. Chest it down, Dominic Iorfa, and flicks it to his left for Max Lowe. Lowe keeps it away from Broadhead and plays a left-footed ball up looking for Ugbo, but that's dealt with by Connor Cody with a very neat header. Blimey, Coventry 4, QPR 0. Another for Haji Wright this afternoon. Lovely skill from Lewis O'Brien on halfway for Wrexham. Finds Longman on the far right-hand side, up against Kabatsky. Level with the 18-yard line, gets half a yard. Lovely ball in, looking for Kiefer Moore, flicked away from his head by Jan Valery as Moore was preparing to try and head in his hat-trick.
I tell you what, he's been value, Ryan Longman out there. Many times he's run so well from right wing back. Never gets beyond the ball. He's always arriving into space, which is good play, good timing. But his deliveries have been excellent.
McLean held up by Liam Palmer, forced to go back to halfway. Mansfield 2, Leyton Orient 1. Josh Curramer gets one back for Leyton Orient. Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. Luke Cundle. As away down the right-hand side of the area come Wrexham. It's pulled back just away from Nathan Broadhead by Ryan Longman again, who'd got in behind. Moore was actually in the area too, but the ball was pulled behind him. And Sheffield Wednesday frantically got it clear.
Yeah, he's having a field there, Ryan Longman. He's actually staying in that high position now. Such is the dominance of Wrexham's play.
So not a good day for the city of Sheffield so far. Sheffield United losing at home again. Luke Cundle with that goal for Millwall. And Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 down here with 5 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2. Wrexham in possession. Lovely touch from Dobson. Gives it back to Kiefer Moore. Inside the area. Tried to turn inside Iorfa to get in position to shoot for a hat-trick. But Iorfa, again, stayed on his feet and got a vital footing at the important moment. Ball breaks on halfway for Sheffield Wednesday, but Cadamartri loses out in a ricochet. Wrexham coming forward again, urged on by the locals. Longman again is fed down the right-hand side, puts the cross in beyond Broadhead, who was on the 6-yard line, but it drops for James McLean on the near side to us, left-hand side. Looking to get the better of two Sheffield Wednesday players watching him. Works it back in field to Matty James. Now Dobson, centre of the Wednesday half, urged to shoot. It's a bit ambitious. I don't think he was ever going to go for that. It's gone back out to Ryan Longman again on the Wrexham right. Brilliant. Oh, he gets past Kabatsky like he wasn't there. Fires the ball along the deck, and it's turned over the bar by Max Lowe for a Wrexham corner. They are looking rampant at the moment, are Wrexham. 2-0 up.
Yeah, and it's all through that man, Ryan Longman. He's been giving the service out there on the right-hand side, and he's delivering. And there's trickery as well to go past players. They just look dejected at this moment in time, Sheffield Wednesday, but they're going to have to get their heads up because they're going to have to defend the corner here.
Lewis O'Brien's going across to take it where the Macron stand meets that open end away to our left, where a new cop stand is going to be built. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from the former Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest man. Holds off his right arm before delivering this corner to the far post. Up go the heads. Kiefer Moore nods it down, and it's kept off the line by Max Lowe. And then there's a flag for a foul, or an offside in actual fact, against a Wrexham player.
I tell you what,
but the Wednesday defenders weren't to know that.
No, it's brilliant defending, Dance, to be honest with you. But there's no way they should be defending it in the 6-yard box there. That's Ethan Havar's ball. He's got to come and get it. He's got to take the pressure off his back line. It's been a little bit of a hit and miss debut for him, to be honest with you.
It has been difficult for him getting to know his teammates in 24 hours, but less than that, basically.
Absolutely.
And he will have this free kick for Sheffield Wednesday. 2-0 down to Wrexham with 2.5 minutes of normal time to go in this first half at the racecourse on Talksport 2. Long goal kick. Breaks for Liam Palmer, just out of the centre circle. Tried to roll it up to Cadamartri, but Cadamartri made the run to the right and the ball went down the middle. So Wrexham have it back. Matty James looking to get Kiefer Moore in behind. Jan Valery went to ground in a heap, but there was no real challenge from Jan Valery, and in fairness to Moore, he wasn't claiming for anything. Birmingham City 1, Oxford United 0. Pek Seung-ho puts Birmingham ahead against their old manager Gary Rowett. Svante Ingolson for Sheffield Wednesday gets the ball into the area. Ugbo goes down as he was shooting for goal, and there were half-hearted appeals that he was caught. He didn't get any purchase on the shot, and it just rolled harmlessly through to Danny Ward, who can pick it up.
Do you know what? Ryan Longman got back there. I know we'll keep going on about him, but he's having an unbelievable game. He got back there and just got a toe in, just to take the heat off the shot.
Another long ball downfield for Kiefer Moore, who tried to volley it Van Basten style from the right-hand side of the air as it dropped out the sky. Went into the netting high above the open end to our left-hand side, just to protect the ball from going into the construction site that's there.
I have to say, I mean, he looks totally like he's enjoying his football here at Wrexham, Kiefer Moore. Playing with energy, playing with pace and power. We know that he gives you. Winning everything in the air at both ends of the pitch.
It's a decent £2 million spent, isn't it?
Absolutely. bang on.
Coventry City 5, QPR 0. Jack Bradoni gets his second, so 2 Cov players on a hat-trick, and they've not even reached half-time. And Norwich City 0, Middlesbrough 1. Finn Azaz for Middlesbrough. Forget that horrible cup game against Doncaster. Middlesbrough started all right under Rob Edwards. And Wycombe 1, Reading 1. Mamadi Camara equalises for Reading at Adams Park.
See, that's better from Danny Ward. Just settles his back line down, gets him up the pitch, gives him a breather.
Now he smacks it right-footed downfield for Wrexham, looking for Broadhead, but Valerie can head clear. Dobson keeps it away from blue and white striped shirts on the halfway line. James McLean picks it up on this near side, the Wednesday left. Diagonal ball, looking for Kiefer Moore, who acknowledges the ball sent, but he was on his heels a little bit, and it was allowed to bobble over the dead ball line for a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. We're about to find out from the fourth official how many minimum stoppage time minutes we'll have. 2. We're into those now. Fleetwood 1, Oldham 1. Your old side are level at Highbury through Regan Ogle. Still haven't got themselves a win back in the EFL. Oldham Athletic, Neil, your old club.
Yeah, they need a win, to be honest with you. But tremendous promotion, from the National League.
Well, once a Premier League side, let's not forget. Oh, Neil remembers all those days. Dennis Irwin and all that. Scored the penalty that took him there. Ian Marshall. Great players like that who once wore the Oldham shirt. Sheffield Wednesday were once a Premier League side as well. And those days, long gone. They are trying to keep their head above water at Championship level. 2-0 down here, but good touch from Cadamartri. In added time, can Sheffield Wednesday get something to take into half-time with them? Charlie McNeil keeps the ball in play on this near side, the far right for Sheffield Wednesday, works it back to Liam Palmer. Now Jan Valerie just to the right of the centre circle, gives it to Barry Bannon. Bannon immediately strokes it down the right wing for McNeil, who takes one touch, floats the ball to the far post, free header at the far post from Kabatsky, heads it over. Big chance Sheffield Wednesday as the ball was floated over by Charlie McNeil. Really nice delivery, and Olaf Kabatsky at the far stick got up, looked like he got the right jump, but just couldn't get over the top of the ball, and it sailed over the crossbar. I
think he's got a score there, Dance. I mean, the cross is so good that he gets the goalkeeper coming, and then he goes back on his line. He's isolated, and he gets a march on his defender, and he's got to hit the target there at least.
Well, you could call that encouragement for Sheffield Wednesday in that they've created something, but not taking it. Wycombe 1, Reading 2. Lewis Wing puts Reading in front. You can bet your bottom dollar that was 25 yards out if Lewis Wing has scored a goal. He doesn't tap him in from 2 yards out. They're always worldies. Oh, James McLean caught by Ingleson late on here in the first half. Free kick to Wrexham as Middlesbrough go 2-0 up at Norwich. Wow. Tommy Conway with a second for the Borough.
Definitely finding the feet, Middlesbrough. Just think a little bit of frustration there with that tackle.
From Ingleson, yes, definitely, No card, though, issued by...
No, the referee's been good, I have to say.
Well, he's the next player.
Yeah, but he's been good. He's let the game go. There's been no malice in any challenges. There's no, but he's been Johnny on the spot.
Well, we've played the 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time. O'Brien takes the free kick into the area, sails over the head of Kiefer Moore, and that is half-time at a very satisfied racecourse ground where Wrexham, looking for their first win of the season, find themselves 2 goals to the good, and 2 goals from Kiefer Moore have made the difference. The first after Sheffield Wednesday gave away a needless free kick in their own defensive third, floated in by O'Brien, and after his header initially was blocked, Kiefer Moore stuck out a left peg and drilled it home past Horvath on debut in the Sheffield Wednesday goal. And Horvath was at the centre of the second, couldn't hold on to a shot from just outside the box from George Dobson just after the half hour, and Kiefer Moore on the follow-up said thank you very much and tucked it away to put himself on a hat-trick this afternoon. Sheffield Wednesday have competed in this first half, and they had a chance right at the end of the half through Kabatsky's header that he should have done better with, but that's a pretty... Well, the body language of the Sheffield Wednesday players as they head back to the changing rooms, they need a pick-me-up from their manager, Henrik Pedersen. At the break, on Talksport 2 at the racecourse, it's Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Dance, thank you very much indeed. Kiefer Moore at the double then. Wrexham in full control, and at the moment it feels like it could be a long afternoon for Wednesday. Neil Redfern, they actually started the game really well, I thought, Sheffield Wednesday, but then Moore got the opener at the second attempt. He fired it home, but it was that delivery, wasn't it, from Lewis O'Brien that was just so dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Ollie. They started the game quite well, Sheffield Wednesday, without looking a threat. But it was a needless free kick that was given away, to be honest with you, by Jan Valery. Just didn't need to do it, caught running with the ball. But the ball in, like you say, from Lewis O'Brien was exemplary. Good challenge from Kiefer Moore, which ricocheted and bounced loose for him. And his finish, as that ball sat up, was top draw. Got his body over it, angled it towards the top corner, and it finished in the back of the net. It was a great strike.
You have to look at the goalkeeping, don't you, for the second. Ethan Horvath on his debut, he parried a shot which was straight at him. He could have saved that comfortably, could have held on to it, but it went straight to Moore, and it was a gift for him to tuck home. I mean, Dance mentioned it. It's difficult, isn't it, for Horvath? He's only known his teammates for about 24 hours, but he should have done better there.
Yeah, he should have done better. He's parried it. It's okay if the shot struck hard and you parry it down and then drop on it, but he actually parried it out, and he parried it out into Kiefer Moore's feet, and he made no mistake from where the ball landed. But if you have to say, you look at the two goals in essence, that they both come from mistakes, one from a goalkeeper and one from a free kick given away when Wednesday were in a position where they could have cleared. So that's where the frustration will lie for Wednesday.
Do you feel that there is a route for them back into this game, or does it feel a bit more like damage limitation now this afternoon?
Well, I think the next goal is going to be important. I know it's an obvious thing to say, but I think if Wednesday get the next goal and it gives them a little bit of a lift, then that little bit of doubt will creep into Wrexham's play. But you could see the second goal just settle Wrexham down. They were playing with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more swagger. But it's important what Henrik Pedersen says to his team at half-time, because he needs to get the heads back up, and they need to try and get that next goal if they can.
They do indeed. Neil, thank you very much indeed. Second half action to come then. Wrexham at the moment 2 up on Sheffield Wednesday. If you missed it earlier, by the way, it finished Charlton 0, Leicester 1 here on Talksport 2. A wonder goal from Abdul Fatawu, picking up all 3 points for Leicester at the Valley. And over on Talksport, what a result in the early kickoff in the Premier League. Spurs beating Manchester City 2-0 at the Etihad. The 5:30 game in the top flight comes from the Emirates. Arsenal take on Leeds. We're going to keep you across the game during the game day phone-in over on Talk Sport. Jake Robson is our man at the Emirates this afternoon. Jake, if we look at Arsenal, they got over the line against Manchester United at Old Trafford. It wasn't a vintage performance. You do feel that Mikel Arteta will be expecting a bit of a better one against a promoted side this afternoon?
I think that is an understatement, but I think getting over the line in your first game is sort of just about what you want to do. But really, to illustrate what you're saying, they actually, as a bizarre stat that I saw earlier, they faced more shots than any other club in the opening weekend in the Premier League. David Raya making more saves than any other goalkeeper, so that exactly backs up your point. The goal obviously came from a set piece, something that they've been renowned for over the last couple of seasons. Their 31st Premier League goal they've scored from a corner in the last 2 seasons. That's 11 more than any other side. A bit of a smash and grab, I think you can say. But I have a feeling that we might see a bit more of an all-rounded clinical performance, perhaps, here this afternoon against Leeds United.
One man who had a bit of criticism after that game was the new number 9, Victor Gyökeres. He didn't have many touches in the game. I thought it was a bit harsh, given that collectively Arsenal weren't at their best. But today feels, doesn't it, like the perfect game for him to get off the mark.
There were some good memes doing the round, though, of his performance the other day. Stuff to do with his hair and all that kind of thing. He didn't have a single shot, though, did he? I think what was perhaps surprising was, I think you can excuse whatever happens in front of goal. The team didn't create many chances, as you said. United were on top for a lot of it. His hold-up play wasn't even that good, and I think for such a big lad, you perhaps expected that at the very least to be a bit better. But as you say, they are obviously at home this afternoon against Leeds, who've obviously just come up last season. I mean, at the very least, you expect that Arsenal to create more chances and he'll get more service. Hopefully, as far as he's concerned, that he's able to put in a bit of a better performance, because it's very difficult when players not only come to a new club, but especially come from abroad for such a high fee. We've seen it before. If they don't get a goal early on, then the pressure starts building and people start talking, and sometimes it spirals out of control. And they can, we've seen it in the past. So you hope for his sake that he manages to kind of nip that one in the bud early on.
from a Leeds perspective, Jake, a good start for them. It was live on Talksport. They beat Everton 1-0, got their first 3 points of the season. Having seen that performance, do you think they could make life difficult for the Gunners today?
Well, they've already got more points than last season's promoted clubs took from all 9 games in August combined. So that kind of gives you an idea of perhaps how much of a better chance they already have compared to the teams from last season. Obviously, it's difficult to kind of draw too many conclusions from that performance against Everton, a really lacklustre Everton. But a bit like Arsenal, if you're going to get away with 3 points from your opening game, I don't think you're going to complain, particularly as a team that's just come up. I don't know. I think it's going to be difficult here this afternoon. I didn't see much from that game that suggests they're going to trouble, particularly Arsenal, who are renowned for being fantastic at home. But they obviously will bring fantastic support here this afternoon. They'll be shouting for them from the off. I don't know. Let's see. I still fancy Arsenal to probably keep a clean sheet and maybe win 2 or 3-0. But let's see.
Jake, thanks very much indeed. Jake Robson there. He's going to keep you across Arsenal against Leeds during the game day phone-in over on Talksport. That starts at 5:30. And by the way, I have seen Jamie O'Hara in the office, and after Spurs beat Manchester City 2-0 a bit earlier, he is in full Oasis regalia, so in a very good mood, I would say. Remember, you can have your say on national radio a bit later on. OK, the second half of Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 is on the way, and we'll bring you the half-time classifieds next.
Online, on DAB+, and on the app. This is Talksport 2.
This weekend, TalkSport's morning conquest continues with another Breakfast of Champions. The Weekend Sports Breakfast with NordVPN. Wake up and smell the match day on the UK's fastest and most well-connected football news network. Make sure you're match fit ahead of all the action with analysis that takes you behind the scenes of all the teams. The Weekend Sports Breakfast, tomorrow morning from 6 on TalkSport with NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day. Find out more at nordvpn.com/TalkSport.
This season with the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, Europa and Conference League, Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports is not normal. Neither was Declan's double of free kicks into the top bins.
It's Rice again!
Tarkovsky's equaliser that shook the Gladys.
It's Tarkovsky! Unbelievable.
And then there's this guy's 121st minute winner. All these competitions in one place, not normal. TNT Sports.
Ugh, drizzly drive to the office. Ever wanted to just shove some bits in a bag, hop on a plane, and land somewhere magnifique? Well, with Kayak Explore, it's easier than ever. Whatever your budget, wherever you want to go, simply set the amount you want to spend, and Kayak finds flights that fit. Easy breezy. Search Kayak and go see for yourself.
You could be a lotto millionaire like Terry. Get your ticket for tonight's draw. The National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
At this vet, Mia's the owner, surgeon, rota manager and puppy wrangler. And now she and her team are cybersecurity experts too.
Mia, someone tried accessing our system. Phishing scam. I blocked it.
BT Security Awareness Training turns your team into your first line of defence. Quick to set up from just £1.25 per user per month. Cybersecurity is everyone's business. Thankfully, not just Mia's. Search BT Business Cybersecurity. T&Cs apply. Prices exclude VAT at 20%. 12-month minimum term applies.
$1.49 at McDonald's gets you a mini Oreo McFlurry. $1.49 on a big night out gets you...
Sorry, no trainers.
McDonald's Saver Menu. Actually get your money's worth. From 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary. Fees apply to delivery, subject to availability.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
No-nonsense sports coverage.
Oh, he's going all the way!
This is Talksport
2. Premier League. This is Game Day. Half-time classifieds.
This is EFL Game Day exclusive on Talksport 2. I'm Ollie Klink. Let's get your half-time classifieds, shall we? Starting with the Premier League, the 12:30 kickoff live on Talksport finished Manchester City 0, Tottenham 2. At half-time in the 3 o'clocks, it's Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0. It's Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0, Sunderland 0, and Arsenal against Leeds is the late kickoff.
Sky Bet Championship.
In the 12:30s in the Championship, it finished Charlton 0, Leicester 1, Hull 0, Blackburn 3 and Swansea 1, Watford 1. In the half-times, it's Birmingham 1, Oxford 0, Coventry 5, QPR 0, Norwich 0, Middlesbrough 2, Preston 1, Ipswich 0, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1, Southampton 0, Stoke 0, West Brom 1, Portsmouth 0 and Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Sky Bet League 1.
In the earlier games, it finished Luton 0, Cardiff 1 and Rotherham 2, Wigan 2. At half-time, it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Barnsley 0, Bolton 0, Lincoln 1, Huddersfield 0, Stevenage 0, Mansfield 2, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 2, Exeter 0, Peterborough 0, Bradford 0, Plymouth 0, Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0, Doncaster 0, Stockport 0, Burton 1 and Wycombe 1, Reading 2.
Sky Bet League 2.
In League 2, in the early kickoffs, it finished Newport 1, MK Dons 2, Walsall 1, Salford 0. At half-time, it's Accrington 0, Grimsby 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Cambridge 0, Cheltenham 0, Barnet 0, Colchester 0, Barrow 1, Crawley 0, Tranmere 0, Fleetwood 1, Oldham 1, Gillingham 0, Crewe 0, Harrogate 0, Chesterfield 1, Nats County 2, Bromley 1 and Swindon 1, Shrewsbury 0. OK, at half-time in the Championship at the Racecourse Ground, it is Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Let's bring back in our commentary team, Ian Danter, alongside Neil Redfern. Neil, there'll be one man very hungry for this second half, and that will be Kiefer Moore. He will be desperate to try and get a hat-trick, won't he? Yeah, absolutely. You know, I just think, I was saying to Dance earlier on, he looks like he's really enjoying his football. He's playing with energy and he's playing with strength, and his ability to hold the ball is, he's not questioned. But he's getting himself in front of goal, and his finishing's been excellent. And he's becoming their talisman at this moment in time. What can Wednesday do to try and limit Wrexham? Because by the end of that first half, it felt like attack after attack, didn't it? Yeah, it did. I mean, I just think, the goals have come from mistakes. If you're Henrik Pedersen, you'd be saying, look, the performance has not been too bad, but we've got to cut the mistakes out. Can't keep making mistakes and hope to get a result or hope to get points on the board. The next goal for Sheffield Wednesday is really important. If Sheffield Wednesday get it, then they're back in the game. If Wrexham get it, then they're almost out of sight, I would say. OK, it sounds like the second half is approaching at the Racecourse, so let's rejoin your commentary team. Neil Redfern, the former Leeds manager, alongside Ian Danton.
Thanks, Ollie. Yeah, playing bread of heaven around the PA system here again. These two teams first met as recently as 1975, would you believe? But they went 21 years without playing each other between the early 80s and the early noughties. But in this clash, it is Wrexham who are asking all the questions, and so far, Sheffield Wednesday have none of the answers. So as it stands in the Championship table, it's the two Sheffield clubs and Oxford United who would end the afternoon pointless after 3 rounds of the Championship. Wrexham will get us back underway, wearing their red shirts and socks and white shorts, attacking from left to right as we look from the back of the old Wrexham lager stand. So they'll be attacking the university end that they love to do in the second half of games. Wrexham, Sheffield Wednesday in their first choice colours of the blue and white stripes, blue shorts and socks, kicking from right to left towards the open end to our left-hand side where the new cop stand is going to be built, holding about 5,000 fans. I've seen the plans for it, and it looks spectacular what they've got in store for that stand when it's built here at Wrexham, all in red brick with dragons inlaid into the brickwork and plenty more good stuff besides. Barry Bannon forced to clear just at the edge of his own penalty area, does well and finds Ingleson. I'll run you through the lineups again in just a minute. I'll do that now as Wednesday work the ball back to the edge of their own area. For Wrexham, it's Ward in goal, and then Clearworth, Cody and Brunt, Longman, Dobson, James, O'Brien and McLean, Broadhead and Moore. For Wednesday, Horvath in goal. It's then Palmer, Valerie, Iorfa and Lowe, Ingleson, Bannon, Kabatsky, McNeil, Ugbo and Kadamatari. Here is Dominic Iorfa, one of the two centre-halves for Sheffield Wednesday in this 4-3-3. Slides it up over halfway for Olaf Kabatsky, went to ground, wanted a free kick, but a wag of the finger from referee Hallam saying no dice. Back it goes to Danny Ward. Resplendent in all fluorescent yellow, the Wrexham keeper. You're not going to miss him walking down the country road. Now Kiefer Moore trying to get in behind. But across stepped Max Lowe and just calmly headed the ball back to his goalkeeper. But Kiefer Moore, he wants his hat-trick, doesn't he, Neil Redfern?
Yeah, he does.
2-0.
He's having a blinder today. His general play has been excellent. Just a couple of moments earlier there, he's getting hold of the ball and finding a teammate, finding a red shirt. So important. It's such a great get-out for Wrexham. You know, particularly Danny Ward, if he's under pressure, he can just go back to front into Kiefer Moore and you know it's going to stick.
So a long ball downfield looking for Ugbo. It was well cleared by Lewis Brunt. Goes up to halfway, but Broadhead loses out. Kabatsky can't ride the challenge of Matty James, who guides the ball down for Dobson. Dobson look up early and looks for Kiefer Moore, but Iorfa intercepted the ball that was intended to go into the path of the Welsh striker. Now Barry Bannon looks over halfway for Ugbo, just gets away from him. Kadamatari pressurising Ward, who clears strongly downfield, straight onto the chest of Lewis O'Brien. What a clever layoff for Matty James, and it's all very neat and tidy from Wrexham in their own half of the field. 2-0 up.
Yeah, they look like they're relaxing into the game, Wrexham. You know, they just need to keep these early exchanges in their favour. Don't give Sheffield Wednesday any leg up whatsoever.
Down the right hand side, it's with Ryan Longman, plays it into the near post. Iorfa gets it clear.
I tell you what, Iorfa's been outstanding at the back.
He's done well to repel a lot of things, and it's between Ryan Longman and Kiefer Moore for man of the match for Wrexham this afternoon.
Yeah,
both of them are put in the shift. Coventry City 6, QPR 0. Victor Torp gets a 6th goal for Coventry. What an atmosphere that must be there this afternoon.
Is that when it gets written in brackets?
Yeah,
6.
the word, yeah, SEVEN if another one goes in. You remember the old video printer on the telly? Just like I do. Now, down the left-hand side, James McLean skips infield for Wrexham. 2-0 up. Works it out to Ryan Longman again in space on this right-hand side. Heading for the University, and Longman to the right-hand corner of the box. Lays it off for James. First time ball into the box. Headed out to the edge of the area. Lewis O'Brien tries to tee up Kiefer Moore. And Kiefer Moore gets right underneath this shot. And it sails over the top for a Sheffield Wednesday goal kick. Plymouth 1, Blackpool 0. Wretched start to the season for the Pilgrims back in League One, but Maliki Boateng, their midfielder, puts them ahead at home park against Blackpool. Hearts 0, Motherwell 2 up in Scotland. So we're underway here. I'll keep you in touch with goals going in elsewhere. Earlier today you heard Leicester here on Talksport 2 getting the win against Charlton Athletic through that Abdul Fatawu special early in the second half. So Coventry 6-0 up, and Ollie Clinkers very kindly let me know that the biggest wins in Championship history belong to Wigan, who beat Hull by 8-0. Or there was a day when Bournemouth scored 8 at Birmingham. Yeah, thanks for that, Ollie. It's just what I needed to be reminded of at this point in proceedings. So, left-hand side for Sheffield Wednesday. Svante Ingleson giving chase, but it's going to drift out of play off this beautiful playing surface that was relayed in the summer. So much work has gone in on and off the pitch at Wrexham. But the pitch is the most important thing as far as the players are concerned, and it is, as with so many pitches around the country these days, Neil Redfern, a carpet.
Yeah, the pitch is beautiful. If you can't play on this, then there's a problem. But I think they just need to keep Wednesday at arm's length. Wrexham, been quite a subdued start to the second half, quite low tempo. I'm expecting more of an upbeat start from Wednesday. They need that goal back.
So Wrexham have won it back. Great work down the right-hand side from Dobson. Gets into the area, drives it goalwards, and Bannon and Iorfa between them block it away. So it comes to nothing in the end.
Brilliant block by Barry Bannon. I mean, he's not very tall at all, but he throws his body in the way of that. That's it, heading to the target. Fantastic block.
6 minutes gone, second half. Wrexham 2-0 up. They've got a throw 10 yards from the dead ball line. Dobson trying to get the better of Ingleson down the Wrexham right, but Ingleson shoulder to shoulder showed good strength there in actual fact for Sheffield Wednesday. And he gets it back, drifts away from Dobson, and it's worked back to Max Lowe. Good ball up to halfway. Bailey Kadamatri tries to lay it off for Ugbo. Headed away by Clearwood. Ugbo just couldn't control it, and Ryan Longman straight onto the loose ball. Bannon just toe ends it away from O'Brien for a moment, but Wrexham win it back. Dobson right onto this near touchline. Wins the throw off Ugbo, who played 6.5 minutes of the second half. Same as it was at half time. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on Talksport 2. Guided out to Brunt. Out the left-hand side for James McLean. McLean, early ball in field for Moore. Tried to lay off for O'Brien, but the touch was too heavy. Ingleson with a heavy touch himself, but he slid in to keep possession for Wednesday in the centre circle. And now Ugbo, after the ball in the inside right channel, he's gone down. Referee says play on. Wednesday still have it. McNeil, right-hand corner of the area, works it back for Bannon, puts into the area for Ugbo, who's almost about to pull the trigger, and across came Lewis Brunt with a vital interception to turn it behind for a Sheffield Wednesday corner. 2-0 Wrexham.
That's a great bit of build-up play from Sheffield Wednesday. Little give and goes, all on one touch, in and around the box. It's a deft touch from Barry Bannon to put the ball through, and it's a fantastic block in the end. Something they've done really well, Wrexham, today. They've tracked runners, they've been thorough, they've been disciplined. It's important that they do that. A clean sheet would be, something really treasured today in this game.
Bannon with a corner then at the open end of the ground. Going to be a left-footed in-swinger from Bannon. Actually rolls it short to the edge of the area. Picked up by McNeil. Tries to drive it through a crowd of players. Deflects it back out to Bannon. He drives it in near post, and it's headed away by Cleworth for another corner on this near side as Sheffield Wednesday try and do something adventurous from the corner kick. 2-0.
Yeah, really inventive from Bannon. That's what you'd expect from him. Everybody's expecting the ball to come into the 6-yard box, and he just rolls it short at the angle, and it's blocked as an attempt, but it's good play by Wednesday. The captain in Wrexham's half now.
Burnley 1, Sunderland 0 in the battle of the promoted sides in the Premier League. Josh Cullen for the Clarets at Turf Moor. Another corner for Sheffield Wednesday. 2-0 down here at the racecourse. Drilled in by Bannon to the far post. Headed out by Brunt. Broadhead tries to hold it up. There's a break on if they can play it right. No, it's deflected out to Bannon again for Sheffield Wednesday. Ball into the near post, headed behind by Cleworth. Actually stays for a throw-in, not a corner kick on this near side. Almost got themselves clear there, did Wrexham. But again, Barry Bannon trying to mastermind things, and now he's left it for Ingleson to hurl another long throw into the Wrexham penalty area. This is their most likely route, isn't it, Neil Redfern, to get something on the board?
Yeah, they must have had half a dozen long throws where it's come in and they've had to deal with it, Wrexham.
And it comes again from Ingleson, looking for the flick near post from Valerie, goes over his head, comes back to Ingleson left-hand side, runs around, Longman does really well, gets to the dead ball line, lifts it to the near post, and Ugbo heads wide, and it deflects for a corner kick. Got it on target, I think, Ike Ugbo. And the referee's given a corner kick to Sheffield Wednesday, who are getting closer to halving the deficit. 2-0.
Max Cleworth, brilliant there. Just got his body in the way of that effort from Ugbo. I think it just deflected off him and went wide of the post, but they're living a little bit perilously here. Wrexham could do with clearing this ball quickly.
So another corner for Sheffield Wednesday at the open end of the ground to our left-hand side. Bannon's going to take it. Left-footed outswinger from the left-hand side. Good delivery. Headed out by Lewis Brunt again. Kabatsky tries to keep it alive, but suddenly there's a counter-attack on. Broadhead down the far left-hand side of the field, turns, looks in field, spots Kiefer Moore making the run, and fires the ball too hard across the face of the penalty area, and it drifts behind, and it will be a Sheffield Wednesday goal kick as the counter-attack comes to nothing. Port Vale 0, Doncaster 1. Owen Bailey puts Donny in front. Celtic lead Livingston by a goal to 0 in Scotland through Benjamin Nigeren. And Peterborough 0, Bradford 1. Peterborough had an awful start to the season in League One, and Will Swan has given Bradford the lead at London Road. 2-0 here to Wrexham at the racecourse. 10 minutes gone in the second half on Talksport 2. But again, Sheffield Wednesday have just had a little spell, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, they've just shown a little bit of life, a little bit of willing. They've forced a few set players and been inventive with it. Barry Bannon's a way into this game for them, I feel, just with his quality, his ability to conjure something out of nothing.
Well, he's on the ball now, just inside his own half, left-hand side. Takes the game down to walking pace, wants an option, doesn't really see one, so he works it back to Iorfa. West Brom 1, Portsmouth 1. Colby Bishop equalises for Portsmouth at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Early today, Morecambe, back in the National League North, dramatic 98th minute winner against Altrincham. I think they only had 6 registered players at the start of the week or something like that. What an effort. Under new management and new ownership. Brilliant win for Morecambe in non-league today. Ingleson just gets the better of O'Brien, who then slides in for a challenge to try and win it back for Wrexham, but Sheffield Wednesday come away with the ball, 2-0 down. Bannon lifts it down the left-hand side of the area. Kabatsky giving chase, being watched by both Cleworth and Longman, and between those two, they get it cleared by Longman onto the chest of Bannon, but back comes Kiefer Moore, who's twice Barry Bannon's size, and just steps in and says, thank you very much, I'll have that.
Yeah, there's only one winner there, but this is a good spell of play by Sheffield Wednesday. Moving the ball well, moving it on limited touches, which is making it difficult for Wrexham to get close.
Ogbo got no change out of Connor Cody there as he tried to twist and turn, and away come Wrexham with Matty James. Kiefer Moore on the left wing now for the hosts. Left-hand corner of the penalty area, tries to go beyond Valerie, can't do so, and Liam Palmer, such a veteran for Sheffield Wednesday, gets it clear. 800 appearances between Palmer and Bannon alone for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they've been great servants, to the club, and obviously top pros throughout the career. You just feel a little bit for Sheffield Wednesday, it's not through a lack of effort. The disappointment will come in this game if it finishes in a defeat. The goals have been given them, really, giving free kicks away in dangerous positions, and obviously a goalkeeping error. A new goalkeeper that's coming, there's nothing you can do about. I suppose that might happen, but we've not really offered anything at the other end in front of goal. It's a bit of a worry.
No, there's a Berry can play for a moment because Kiefer Moore's getting some treatment. Just down by the left-hand side of the penalty area where he tried to put that cross in before it was blocked away. 10,628 inside the racecourse with just over 1,200 Sheffield Wednesday fans who we can't see from our vantage point here in the old Wrexham Lager stand. They're down to our right-hand side. And whilst Kiefer Moore is just getting to his feet, again, players have gone across to get some water and get some pointers from their coaching staff. Crawley 0, Tranmere 1 in League 2. Nathan Smith putting Tranmere ahead. And in the Premier League, just to remind you of the scores at the moment, 1-0 in every case in the 3 o'clocks. Bournemouth 1-0 up on Wolves, Brentford 1-0 up on Villa, Burnley 1-0 up on Sunderland, and Wolves are down to 10 men at the Vitality. Totti Gomez has been red carded for them. And in the Championship, earlier wins for Leicester and Blackburn and a draw between Swansea and Watford. Birmingham 1 up, Coventry 6-0 up, Middlesbrough 2-0 up at Sunderland, Middlesbrough 2-0 up at Norwich, I beg your pardon. Preston 1-0 up against Ipswich still, Millwall 1-0 up at Sheffield United, West Brom Portsmouth 1-1, and here at the racecourse with just under an hour gone, it is still Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0 on Talksport 2 as it was at half-time. Neil Redfern alongside me, Ian Danter in North Wales. Free kick for Wrexham, worked back into their own half, and Connor Cody.
Yeah, you just wonder where this goal's going to come from for Wednesday, just to ignite them a little bit and give them a little bit of hope. Just need to start getting their efforts at goal off a little bit quicker.
Nodded down on halfway by Iorfa for Bannon, and he in turn lays it off for Jan Valery. Gets his head up and then flicks it to his right for Palmer. Looking for some movement, not much in that front three now. Cadamarteri comes short, but he's not used. Bannon looks to set Liam Palmer away down the right-hand side, but James McLean stuck out a leg running back towards his own penalty area and managed to keep it away from Liam Palmer.
Yeah, that's brilliant play by James McLean, because that ball's dropping over his shoulder, so he only catches it, the vision of it, as it falls over his shoulder, and his touch is immaculate.
Bannon tries to play it over the head of Dobson. Ugbo tries to give it back to his captain. Sliding challenge from Brunt. One back by Sheffield Wednesday. Driving into the area, Bailey Kadamatri tries to twist inside his man. They've made a mess of the clearance. Ugbo fires it straight at the keeper. Massive chance for Sheffield Wednesday, and Ike Ugbo hit it straight at Danny Ward, who clutched hold of it gratefully. Half a yard either side, and that would have been a goal back for Sheffield Wednesday. Otherwise, it's still 2-0.
That's the best chance of the game for Wednesday. You know, and as your leading striker, as your front play, he's got to find the back of the net from there. I have to say, there's no two ways about it, because that is the only place that he can play where Danny Ward's got a chance. Like you said, anywhere else on the goal, it's a goal because he's that close in. But the thing from Sheffield Wednesday's point of view, or the glimmer of light or hope, if you like, is that they're getting in front of goal.
Only scored once this season, and that was the opening goal at Leicester, which sent the travelling support of the King Power into raptures, but they ended up losing that game. Stoke lead at Southampton. Lewis Baker in the second half at St Mary's. So the top of that fledgling championship table looks interesting, with Coventry up there, Middlesbrough up there, Stoke up there. Very impressive from those sides, who are not amongst the favourites. Great encouragement from the Wrexham fans, all for the Sheffield Wednesday supporters, giving them support down to our right-hand side. Great show of unity.
Yeah, brilliant. It's what you like to see. You know, it's a common denominator, football, and everybody loves the club, showing the passion for the club, the Wednesday supporters.
Now, Sheffield Wednesday are coming forward, 2-0 down. Liam Palmer, right-hand side, slides it further down the area, pulled back by McNeil. Ike Ugbo tries to tee up his captain Bannon, but it was a terrible touch from Ike Ugbo, and it's cleared away by Wrexham, but Moore gets dispossessed by Iorfa. Palmer down the right-hand side of the area, McNeil across the face of goal. Bannon tucks it away, and it's game on at the racecourse as Barry Bannon, captain fantastic, leads by example and strokes it home. And finally the Wednesday pressure pays off, and they've got just over a quarter of the game left to try and turn it around. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
They couldn't, could they? I tell you what, they're in the ascendancy at the moment. So fitting that man's found the back of the net for Sheffield Wednesday, Barry Bannon. He's been everywhere on the pitch today. He's controlled the game at times. He's competed above his height and weight. And there's a game on here, there's no two ways about it. They've just got to try and get this ball back and go after Wrexham. Just starting to wobble, Wrexham.
Suddenly there's belief in those blue and white shirts, but here's Nathan Broadhead at the other end, trying to create something for Wrexham. Longman, right-hand side, early ball in, swirled in, but a comfortable claim for Horvath at the edge of his 6-yard box, and he bowls it out immediately. And Charlie McNeil, who will get an assist for that goal, looking for Liam Palmer, right-hand side, keeps it in play. McNeil goes again, 3 waiting for a cross in blue and white. It's worked back into midfield for Bannon. Bannon 30 yards out, strokes it to his left for Ingleson. Ingleson gives it to Kabatsky. Kabatsky, left-hand corner of the penalty area, doesn't go for goal, leaves it for his captain Bannon. Bannon, lovely ball round the corner, headed up and out by James McLean, back defending. Desperate clearance from O'Brien. Now forward steps Jan Valery, flicks it out to Liam Palmer. Right-hand side, there's 5 Wednesday players waiting for a cross. To the far post it goes, up goes Ingleson. It's cleared away on the 6-yard line from Cleworth, but Iorfa recycles it for Wednesday. Bannon with the diagonal ball into the box, and it goes over everyone's head and behind for a goal kick. But listen, around us now, there's a bit of concern amongst the Wrexham fans. They're 2-1 up here, but Sheffield Wednesday have their tails up.
Yeah, they've just upped the game a little bit, Wednesday. Start to move the ball a little bit quicker. These are great goals, so well manufactured. It's a great finish from Barry Bannon, and you just feel at this moment in time the supporters are a little bit edgy for Wrexham. There's something in the area. They need to try and get a stranglehold on this game, Wrexham, because they don't want to let these 3 points escape the grasp. But they're definitely in this game now, Wrexham, Wednesday.
Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1 on Talksport 2. We played 65 minutes, so 25 to go at the racecourse. Here's Nathan Broadhead for Wrexham, trying to play a 1-2 but loses out. Iorfa showing his strength, and then the diminutive Bannon takes over, plays it infield. Kadamatri with a little bit of touch. Kabatsky runs onto it, tries to ride the challenge of Cleworth. What a magnificent challenge from Max Cleworth on his own 18-yard line as Kabatsky threatened to break the lines and get in on goal.
Yeah, it's a great tackle, so well timed, because if he gets that wrong, it's a penalty as he's running into the box. But it's good play again by Wednesday. They're just cutting through this central area and they've got no answer to it, Wrexham. Game's going away from them at this moment.
But they still lead by 2-1. Cheltenham 0, Barnet 1 in League 2. Ollie Hawkins puts Barnet ahead at Cheltenham, who've had a wretched start to the campaign under Michael Flynn. So a free kick for Wrexham, midway point of their own half as we approach the three-quarter mark in this game, and Wrexham are going to make a change in a minute. You can see that there's at least one player ready to come on for Wrexham. And there's a push on Dominic Iorfa by Kiefer Moore. And that may well mean the change is going to be made. I think it's Sam Smith who's going to be introduced by Phil Parkinson. They're not going to make the change yet. I don't think so anyway. Sheffield Wednesday have a free kick which they've taken quickly inside their own half. Ingleson works it up to halfway. Neat touch from Bailey Kadamatri, just drifting down this left-hand side. Moves infield, plays it back for Bannon. Bannon holds it up for a moment, feeds it out to the left wing and Max Lowe. Bannon again gets his head up, early ball, looking for Kabatsky, lovely ball. Kabatsky's in on goal, blocked by the keeper brilliantly with his chest, and they can't follow it up, Sheffield Wednesday. And then given away, Ugbo tries to go for goal, it's blocked by Dobson, gets it again, Ugbo keeps it in play, looks for Kabatsky, it's only half cleared, it's pinballing around the Wrexham area. Bannon again gets his head up, plays it across to the right-hand side of the area. Palmer gets underneath the drive. It goes way over the crossbar. It ends up being a goal kick. But what are Wrexham doing at the back? They're giving Wednesday all sorts of chances to get themselves level. But with a quarter of the game to go, somehow it remains 2-1 to the hosts.
I tell you what, they're hanging on. Wrexham, they're hanging on. You know, they've come out this second half when really, if they'd have got that next goal, it would have put this game to bed. But Wednesday getting one back has really given them a lift. And there's 2 or 3 chances there. One fell to Ugbo where he's got to try and find the target if he can. But, you know, I think Wednesday are really, really pulling together as a team, showing some real resilience. This is what the supporters are looking for.
Sam Smith is on, and Nathan Broadhead was the player taken off by Phil Parkinson. Just over 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2 in the Championship, your home of the EFL. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. You could have argued this game looked done and dusted at half-time. Not so. Sheffield Wednesday have found a second wind in this second half. And here's chief orchestrator Barry Bannon finding Olaf Kabatsky. Slides it down the left-hand side. Ingleson now in space. Works it in field to Ugbo. Inside the area. Tried to stroke it into the bottom corner. And it was straight at Danny Ward, who held onto it gratefully. And Wednesday are still creating. 2-1 Wrexham.
I tell you what, he's had 3 glorious chances. Ike Ugbo. He's got to find the back of the net with one of them. But brilliant play again. Bannon involved. Ingleson involved. Ingleson's been excellent in midfield alongside Bannon. Athletic, strong. Gets box to box. It's been a good performance since the break.
Coventry City 7, brackets SEVEN, close brackets. QPR 0, Victor Tort with another for him. And Huddersfield 1, Stevenage 0, Alfie May putting Huddersfield ahead in League 1. AFC Wimbledon in the same division, 2-0 up on Barnsley, Antoine Hackford. And 2-1 here to Wrexham, but Sheffield Wednesday are having most of the ball, certainly in the last 5 or 10 minutes, during which time they've got that goal back into the game. Here's Liam Palmer, giving the ball back to Bannon on halfway. Little short pass infield for Ingleson. Keeps it away from Kiefer Moore and has to go back into his own half and give it back to the keeper, Horvath. You can hear around us the concern of the Wrexham fans, wondering where this game has gone.
I just feel when the ball goes backwards, they need to get up the pitch as a team. Wrexham, you know, they're not coming out. It's giving Sheffield Wednesday the space that they need to create.
It's Charlie McNeil on the ball now for Wednesday. In the centre of the Wrexham half, gives it left for Lowe. Further out to the left wing, Kabatsky gets his head up, lovely ball into the area. Got a strong header clear from Connor Cody. Kiefer Moore getting after it, but Jan Valery gets there first, and Kiefer Moore fouls him in the centre circle. Free kick, and Henrik Pedersen applauds Jan Valery just holding off Kiefer Moore for as long as he could and then drawing the foul.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit leggy now, Kiefer Moore. I mean, he's worked his socks off for his team, but they've lost that spark. Wrexham lost that passing movement.
Accrington Stanley 1, Grimsby 1. Accrington Stanley equalised at the Wham through Tyler Walton. That's down in League 2. Handball given against a Wrexham player, spotted by the referee in the centre circle, so it's a free kick to the visitors. 2-1 Wrexham lead, 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2.
It's a long time to hang on.
Well, it feels like it does feel like they're hanging on. You're dead right, Neil Redfern. And a quickly taken free kick by Bannon gets Palmer into the game again, right-hand side, midway point of the half. Works it back for Jan Valery. Plenty in blue and white waiting for a ball up to the edge of the area. Lovely turn, Charlie McNeil, getting down the right-hand side of the box. And Brunt concedes a corner kick. That's all he can do, just to turn it over his own dead ball line.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he got the final touch, but the assistant on the far side disagrees. Corner Wednesday, 2-1 Wrexham.
Yeah, I mean, these are the things that they've got to really defend with all the might. Wrexham.
Jamal Lowe's going to be coming on in a minute as well. Is probably the most obvious change that Sheffield Wednesday could make, given what they've got on the bench in terms of quality and experience and the game situation. But meantime, Barry Bannon with a corner. There's a clutch of players in the 6-yard box in both red and blue and white. In it comes from Bannon, swirled in under the crossbar, pushed away
Brilliant
from
save.
his near post by Danny Ward to keep it out, because that was on its way in.
Yeah, you could see what he'd done there. He meant that, Barry Bannon. He's curling that in towards the goal. If he doesn't get something on that, the goalkeeper, it's in.
Now, this time before this corner kick is taken from the same place, referee wants a word with a few players, because there's a right old traffic jam in front of Danny Ward in that Wrexham goal. There's a good 8 or 9 players stood right in front of him in the 6-yard box. There's all sorts of pushing and pulling going on in there.
He's going to give a free kick here, the ref. You can see it as soon as the ball's taken. He's told them.
Some of them are standing in the actual goal now. In it comes from Bannon, swirled into the near post, headed away by Kiefer Moore, and Kabatsky tries to volley it back, and the Way will tell you that's landed in the gravel about 20 yards behind in the construction site away to our left-hand side. So, 17 and a half minutes to play. It is Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1 on Talksport 2.
It's just like a lethargy that's come across Wrexham at this moment in time. All the momentum's with Sheffield Wednesday since the goal, particularly.
Stockport equalise at home to Burton Albion in League One. Jack Diamond making it 1-1 at Edgeley Park. 2-1 here at the racecourse. But this game is not done. Certainly not the way Sheffield Wednesday are going. They're just winning every first and second ball at the minute. Here is Liam Palmer finding Jan Valery, who's steaming forward down the right-hand side, looking for the run of Bailey Kadamatri, but this time Lewis Brunt read the danger, got himself goal side and worked it back nicely to his keeper. Kiefer Moore wins the header, and he was being held.
Offside as well.
Offside as well, so it will be a free kick, you're right. So the fact that he was being held is irrelevant. It's a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Taken from the wrong place by Bannon, but the referee lets it go. It's worked out to Kabatsky on this left-hand side for the visitors.
There's just no urgency from Wrexham, and that's where the frustration's lying with the supporters. You can hear him as the ball's been played about by Wednesday.
Now Bannon making a run down the left-hand side of the area. Across comes Cody to deal with it, prevents the corner. And in steps Bannon. It ends up being a throw. Just caught the ankle of Connor Cody as he went to win the ball. Cody's all right and gets back to his feet. It will be a throw into Wrexham in their right-back position. Jamal Lowe still waiting to come on, but he's not been introduced yet by Henrik Pedersen.
No. I tell you what, I have to say, Barry Bannon's been head and shoulders above anybody on the pitch this second half. He's ran it from start to finish, got the goal, got him back in it. He's dragging this Sheffield Wednesday team into this game.
He's a delight to watch, isn't he? Still,
yeah.
I mean, that's the great thing. You can look at it objectively as a neutral and just say he's great to watch with the ball at his feet. He's always as unselfish.
And he's not coming off the pedal, which is the most important bit.
Here's Liam Palmer for Sheffield Wednesday. 2-1 down, but pushing for an equaliser. Palmer again looks for Ingleson inside the area, right-hand side, pulls it across the face of goal. Clearworth heads it clear. Might bounce for Lewis O'Brien, manages to nod it down, and then George Dobson just says, have it, and just hoofs it. I was going to say Neil Redfern style, but that would do you a disservice, but you'd have been proud of the distance he got on that clearance.
Yeah, I did. As Mick McCarthy would say, bust it.
2-1 to Wrexham. And here they come again, working the ball from right to left. Max Lowe brings it down neatly. Puts an early ball into the area, but it's just over the head of Ugbo, and it will go behind for a goal kick to Wrexham, and that will herald the arrival of Max Lowe, and he's going to come on for Ike Ugbo for Sheffield Wednesday, who's had his chances today, hasn't he, Neil Redfern?
He's had 3 quality chances. You know, he should have found the back of the net. But he's been in there, to be fair. He's put himself about. He's tried to get hold of the ball. He's found it difficult at times. I think young Bailey Canamastra has been excellent alongside him. We're going to see a lot more of him, I can imagine. And again, Barry Bannon in midfield, who's absolutely ran it second half.
So going off for Wrexham, Kiefer Moore will not get his hat-trick today. And Ryan Hardy is coming on to replace him. So good afternoon for Kiefer Moore. But Ryan Hardy, another of the summer captures from Plymouth Argyle.
Yeah, just freshened his front line up.
Yeah, give... well, not that the Wednesday defenders have had much to think about in the past 10 to 15 minutes, because almost all the action's been in the half to our left.
Yeah, but I think if they can put themselves about and get hold of the ball, might just relieve a little bit of pressure. At this moment, it's all one way.
Just over 13 minutes to play. Still 2-1 Wrexham lead, but still Sheffield Wednesday trying to ask the questions, but ball just wriggles away from Bailey Cadamartri, and it's back at the edge of the Wrexham box with Connor Cody. And he'll clear up to halfway, taken down neatly on his chest by Hardy, just on as a substitute. Longman plays the ball infield to Dobson, who just turns away from Ingleson. Colchester United 0, Barrow 2. Lewis Shipley gets Barrow's second of the afternoon. And Barrow, getting all 3 points as it stands at the job serve. Down goes Charlie McNeil. No foul by Lewis O'Brien, says the referee. And O'Brien will bring it up to halfway. Place it left for McLean. McLean looking for the run down the left-hand side of Smith. The offside flag's gone up against Sam Smith. They wanted a corner, but the flag had already gone up. 13 minutes to go, 2-1 Wrexham.
See, I know this is nitpicking here, but not timing your run right to get in behind, that's an obvious one. Gives the ball back to Sheffield Wednesday, and it's the momentum of this half. It's exactly what's happened all the way through.
So a free kick to Wednesday inside their own half. Dominic Iorfa in possession. Unchallenged, gets up towards the edge of the centre circle. Then plays a square ball to his right for Jan Valery. Palmer just outside him. They're just calming the game down a little bit. There isn't quite the urgency from Wednesday in this couple of minutes. Maybe they're just gearing themselves up for one final push in the last 10 minutes. Now they come forward a bit quicker. Svante Ingleson down the left-hand side. Gets the better of Dobson with a shoulder charge. Puts the ball into the area. Bannon heads it, goes from the edge of the area, and it was cleared away by Cody. In went Iorfa on halfway to try and guide it back to the edge of the box. Wrexham can only get it half clear again. Whistles of concern go up.
Yeah, they can't get out, Wrexham. Every time they clear it, they're not coming up, they're not getting up the pitch, they can't secure it. Just coming straight back all the time.
So it's with Jan Valery inside his own half. Celtic 2-0 up on Livingston. Benjamin Nygren with a second for him this afternoon for Celtic. Out it goes to the right-hand side, and Liam Palmer. Good ball infield for Jamal Lowe. And he's won a free kick as he was just clipped by James McLean. So 2 lows out there, Max and Jamal for Sheffield Wednesday. Charlie McNeil making a strong run down the right-hand side. Can't keep it in play as he tried to wrap his right foot round it, and it ends up being a goal kick for Wrexham. Just over 10 to play, Neil Redfern. Wrexham most definitely hanging on here.
Yeah, it's at that point where you're looking at such as Connor Cody to start rallying the troops, organising them, getting some enthusiasm into them, because they've gone a little bit flat, I have to say. There's not the same energy about them. Obviously Kiefer Moore going off's a big miss as well, but they need to do something, because at this moment in time it's all Wednesday.
Stockport County have turned it around in League One at home to Burton. It's now Stockport 2, Burton 1. Ollie Norwood with the second for the Hatters. 2-1 here as well. To Wrexham against Sheffield Wednesday. Within 10 minutes of their first win of the campaign, back at the second tier level for the first time in such a long time for Wrexham. But Sheffield Wednesday are not done yet. Jan Valery, right-hand side, midway point of the Wrexham half. Jinks in field, gets away from James McLean, works it back to halfway, and Iorfa. Ingleson just to his left will have it now. Plays it into Jamal Lowe. Gives it back to Ingleson. Max Lowe wants it now near side. Picks it up. Early ball into Bannon. Little lovely first touch to get Kabatsky into the game. Now Jamal Lowe looking to set up a shot maybe. Works it for McNeil into the area. It's driven in by Bailey Cadamarteri. And it is 2-2. The Wednesday bench rises as one. And Bailey Cadamarteri smacks it past Danny Ward. Bannon again, the creator-in-chief. Jamal Lowe involved. And Bailey Cadamarteri's finish at the end of it all. 10 yards out. Rifled into the net. And they have come back from 2-0 down when it looked so unlikely at the break. 9 minutes to go. It's all square. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
What an unbelievable finish. The technique to find that back of the net as the ball's coming slightly behind him. First touch, strikes it beautifully, gives the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Brilliant build-up play to get there. But Wrexham, I have to say, just inept.
Well, Wrexham trying to win it at the edge of the Sheffield Wednesday penalty area, but the son of Danny Cadamarteri, Bailey Cadamarteri, 20 years of age, came back from a loan at Lincoln.
See, the problem
last season.
The problem they've got now, Dance, as well, is getting themselves out of that lethargy, and they're in the ascendancy. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't get another here Wednesday.
Well, here's Olaf Kabatsky, Polish left-hand side midfielder, keeps it away from Longman. Now Ingelsson finds Bannon. Out to the left-hand side again for Svante Ingelsson. Ryan Hardy closing down the space, but Ingelsson works it infield to Iorfa by the centre circle. Valerie. Yeah, they want the winner here, Sheffield Wednesday. Liam Palmer, right-hand side, feeds Charlie McNeil. 3 waiting for a cross. Hits it against McLean and will let it go out for a corner kick to Sheffield Wednesday. And Bannon will go over and orchestrate things once again. 2-2.
Totally dominated the second half, Sheffield Wednesday. It just shows us the frailty that Wrexham have got. It's a big jump from League One to the Championship.
Southampton 0, Stoke 2. Sorba Thomas with the second for Stoke. And Tranmere 2-0 up at Crawley. Amari Patrick. 2-2 here. 7 to play. Corner for Sheffield Wednesday. Bannon to drill it in. Just over the head of Iorfa, who is the intended target. Longman picks it up right back for Wrexham. Finds Cleworth, who just puts his foot through it to get it up to halfway. Volleyed back into the Wrexham half and out of play. It'll be a throw. Is there a winner in this game for either side with plenty of time? 7 minutes of normal plus whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to find that momentum and rhythm that they had in the first half, Wrexham.
Here's Ryan Hardy, lovely touch to get him away down the right-hand side. Valerie closing down the space, tries to jink inside Valerie, and Valerie does well. Gets it clear. Oh, great skill from Kabatsky. Keep it away from Ryan Longman. Plays it into the centre circle. Nobody was there for Wednesday. Picked up by Lewis Brunt instead for Wrexham. Looks right for Ryan Longman. Level with the 18-yard line. Right-hand side. Across comes Kabatsky and puts it out for a throw that's been given Sheffield Wednesday's way.
Yeah,
2-2.
Everything seems to be going for Wednesday at this moment in time. I have to say, Barry Bannon's been absolutely outstanding. He's driven this team on. He's picked them up by the shirt collar and said, we're not done yet. Keep fighting. And they have. And they're back in this game, well and truly back in this game.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday fans, don't forget you can react to what you've seen and you've heard with us this afternoon with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on the game day phone-in on Talksport at 5:30 today. 03717 223344. First place anywhere on national radio to phone and moan or ring and sing. And Wrexham fans will be gutted. I mean, this is a point apiece for both clubs to start their season off in one respect, but the point for Sheffield Wednesday will feel a lot better than the point for Wrexham at this point.
Well, when you're 2-0 up and play like you played first half, and Wrexham did. I mean, Wrexham with a better side first half, glimpses of Wednesday, but they have totally dominated this second half, Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, at half-time, we'll be thinking the man of the match would be between Ryan Longman at right wing-back
Kiefer Moore.
and Kiefer Moore.
Yeah.
Now Barry Bannon's more than stake to claim.
Head and shoulders for me.
2-2 the score. 5 minutes of normal time to play on Talksport 2. Is there a winner in the offing for either those in red or those in blue and white? It's the Visitors in possession with Olaf Kabatsky, left-hand side, faced up by Longman. Ingelsson sort of touches it down the left-hand side, and Cleworth, right in front of our commentary position, has to clear it out of play under pressure from Max Lowe.
Yeah, he's defended well, Cleworth. for the vast majority of the game as well. 3 or 4 times he's got his team out of it.
It's going to be another long throw though, Neil, for Svante Ingelsson right down beneath us, and he's been told by the referee not to steal too many yards. Southampton 1, Stoke 2. Taylor Harwood-Bellis gets one back for Southampton, and he's still in the not quite in the right place, and the referee once again tells Ingelsson no, go back 2 or 3 yards. In it comes now from Ingelsson into the near post, looking for Iorfa, headed away by Brunt. Bannon heads it back towards the edge of the area, and half volley cleared by Smith, but nobody there in a red shirt. It's just going to drift out of play on this near side for a Sheffield Wednesday throw. How much ambition do these two sides show with less than 4 minutes to go, with the game locked at 2 apiece on Talksport 2? Neil Redford.
Well, it's a better point for Sheffield Wednesday, being 2-0 down. I think a point after being 2-0 up for Wrexham would be, a real disappointment. The way that they played first half, the way they got the crowd behind them.
Here's Ryan Longman on halfway, flicks it in field for James, laid off under pressure to Dobson. Now a bit of space for Lewis Brunt to attack and move into the Sheffield Wednesday half of the field. Out to James McLean, left-hand side, up against McNeil. Lays it back in field to Brunt once more. Across to Cleworth, just on the right-hand side of the centre circle. Now to the right-hand side, it goes to the right wing, and Longman's crossing, headed up and out, and that's gone behind for a corner kick for Wrexham at the University end. 2-2.
Yeah, here's an opportunity to make it count. Lewis O'Brien's got good delivery. He's already made a goal.
So he's gone across to take this left-footed in-swinger. They do like a late goal here at the racecourse ground, Wrexham. What can they deliver here with 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining? O'Brien's corner, headed out strongly by Iorfa. Put his head on that and got it properly clear, but Longman sent a diagonal ball back into the box. Out comes Orfath, the keeper, and claims it well, colliding with his own defender, who is hurt in doing so. Bannon's now sitting down, just stretching his calf. Bit of cramp for Barry Bannon.
Yeah, he's covered every blade of grass, Barry Bannon.
So they're just reading out the attendance over the public address system. Palmer's back on his feet, having been clattered into by his own goalkeeper. 2-2 still here, with 2 minutes to go. Norwich get a goal back at home to Middlesbrough, but it may not be enough. Norwich 1, Middlesbrough 2. Josh Sargent. Bromley equalise at Notts County. 2-2 there. Idris Odeteo with the second for Bromley. Celtic 3-0 up on Livingston. Johnny Kenny with the third for the Celts. And Hearts 3, Motherwell 3. What a game in Edinburgh this afternoon. 3-3 there. And Harrogate 1, Chesterfield 2. As we play on with Sheffield Wednesday coming forward, but it's back with the Wrexham keeper Danny Ward. Clears away very neatly, left-footed up to halfway. Claims for a push on Dobson, not given. Max Lowe leaves it for Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe, 25 yards out, goes for goal deflection. Corner kick, Sheffield Wednesday.
I tell you what, that was a foul. Dance. I mean, he's pushed his man. He's not made many mistakes this afternoon, the referee, to be fair, for Rai Halam, but...
So Bannon, who's only just got back to his feet after a teammate helped him out with a bout of cramp, is now going to take this corner kick for Sheffield Wednesday. We're in the last minute of normal time on Talksport 2 at the racecourse. 2-2. Palmer and Iorfa and Valerie have all gone right to the far side of the penalty area, as far as way they can be without being outside the box for this corner from the left-hand side from Bannon. Now 1 or 2 of them make a run in. Drilled in by Barry Bannon, headed up and out by Sam Smith defending. McLean just hooks it over his head and clears it. Wrexham try and get out. Wednesday win it back. Bannon has it, left-hand side, just inside the half. Diagonal ball up to the edge of the area. Comfortable catch for Danny Ward, didn't have to jump. Caught that quite comfortably.
Good goalkeeping that. Took the pressure off his back line. He needed to there, Danny Ward.
Peterborough 1, Bradford 1. Kean Hayes in stoppage time equalises for the Posh. And Gillingham lead late on at home to Crewe. Could be the end of Crewe's 100% record. 4 minutes of added time that we're into now on Talksport 2. Wrexham coming forward, cross into the boxes, volleyed away by Kabatsky. Lewis Brunt gets the better of Kadam Artery, who at the moment has saved a point for Sheffield Wednesday. Max Cleworth out to the right-hand side and Longman. Dobson with an early ball up to the edge of the area for Hardy. gives it back to Dobson. Now he plays it in field. Bit of room for Lewis O'Brien. 30 yards out, clips it out to McLean on the left wing. Plenty in red waiting for a cross. McLean onto his right. The cross hits the first defender. Comes out to Cleworth at the edge of the area. Doesn't go for goal. Leaves it instead for Longman. Down the right-hand side of the box. Whips the ball into the far post. Heads go up. Smith heads it goalwards. And Iorfa nods it behind for a Wrexham corner.
Great
in
play.
added time. 2-2.
Great play. Iorfa outstanding at the back. Gets his first header. Really, really good play by Wrexham. Finding themselves now.
So a corner kick again at the University end that Lewis O'Brien will take for Wrexham. But before that, there's going to be a substitution made, and Barry Bannon is going to have to come off for Sheffield Wednesday. The man that scored the first goal cannot continue. He had that bout of cramp earlier, and so his place is going to go to Sean Fusire in the midfield.
Yeah, the referee sent him off at the shortest point as well, which is fair enough.
It's gone behind the goal.
Yeah, magnificent today, the little fella.
So Fusire's first job is to come back and help his defenders as Bannon walks slowly around the touchline over on the far side of the field. So a corner for Wrexham at 2-2 in added time. Lewis O'Brien to take it. Left-footed in-swinger, in it comes under the crossbar, headed up and out strongly by Bailey Cadamarteri, who got Sheffield Wednesday's equaliser. Longman tosses the ball back up to the edge of the area. Fusire heads clear, his first job as Wednesday substitute. We played 2 minutes of the four, almost given away by Wrexham, just inside the Wednesday half. Now it's clipped in field by Lewis Brunt, up to the edge of the area. Cleworth has stayed forward, lobs it back for Ryan Longman. Longman faced up by Kabatsky, plays it in field for Dobson. Dobson gets his head up, slides it back out to Longman in the right wing position, whips in a very, very deep cross. McLean goes up with the header, comes off the top of his head, and Palmer will let that go behind for a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Can they hang on and earn a point here Wednesday as Wrexham go again?
Yeah, this would be an unbelievable point for Sheffield Wednesday. Everything that's going on in the background, and 2-0 down at half-time showed real character. You know, a little bit of a reaction there from Wrexham, to be fair. I mean, they were excellent, Wrexham, first half. It's been a great game of football.
Now it's Olaf Kabatsky who's gone down wanting a bit of treatment for cramp from a teammate, and the referee's indicating, look, I'm going to add time on for this. So 3 minutes of the minimum 4 have gone.
Yeah, they've worked the socks off, to be fair, Wednesday, to get back into this game. You can understand them cramping up.
Kabatsky now on his feet, so we will continue with the goal kick for Ethan Horvath, who didn't have the greatest of first halves on his debut for Sheffield Wednesday, but he's had very little to do in this second period. Danny Ward's been by far the busier goalkeeper. Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. Jayden Anthony wraps up the points for the Clarets. Their first win back in the Premier League. Swindon 1, Shrewsbury 1. Callum Stewart equalises. Coventry City 7, QPR 1. Comebacks on. Richard Kone. Goal kick.
Great header.
Sent downfield, from Horvath, headed out of play by Fusire. Throw in for Wrexham. Time running out here. We played the 4 minutes of minimum added time. It's down to the referee how much more we add on, with the score locked at 2-2. Ball played in field, but Wednesday have it with Svante Ingelsson. Lays it off to Max Lowe. Looks for his namesake Jamal through the middle, but it drifts away from him. Is there a chance left for Wrexham to get it forward one last time? Dobson on halfway. We're trying to flick it into the path of Longman, and it didn't come off, but it almost went back to a Wednesday player. Danny Ward clears under pressure from Cadamarteri. Drops over the head of Iorfa. Headed away at the back. There's desperation at the back. Otegbeo's on as well for Sheffield Wednesday to bolster the back line. Ryan Longman comes down the right-hand side for Wrexham. Whips the ball in. Smith goes down. It might break for James McLean, trying to twist and turn at the edge of the area. Sets up Dobson, slid away, and now there's a break on for Sheffield Wednesday, led by Bailey Cadamarteri. He's got Fusire to his left, fights Fusire, a little touch for Charlie McNeil. Saved by Danny Ward, and that's the last action of the game. Sheffield Wednesday dropped to their knees to a man. They nearly won it with the last kick of the game from Charlie McNeil as they broke forward but Danny Ward saves it. In fact, almost every outfield player has dropped to their knees because Wrexham feel like they've dropped 2 points, and Sheffield Wednesday feel that they should have got a point more, because Wrexham were 2-0 up at half-time through a brace from Kiefer Moore, and Sheffield Wednesday looked beleaguered as they came off the pitch. But boy, oh boy, how they rallied in the second half. Barry Bannon reduced the arrears just after the hour, and then 10 minutes from time, Bailey Cadamarteri rifled the ball into the roof of the net from close range. Wrexham tried to get a winner themselves, but the best chance for all 3 points came right there at the end with that Sheffield Wednesday counter-attack, and Charlie McNeil repelled by Danny Ward to keep it all square. And so both sides have got their championship campaigns off and running with a point apiece, but they both desperately wanted 3 and will feel they should have had 3, both of them, at full time at the racecourse. It's finished. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Wow, Ian Danter, thank you very much indeed. What a game at the racecourse ground. A battling second half performance from Sheffield Wednesday. A very valuable point earned. But Neil Redfern, they could have nicked it at the end.
Yeah, unbelievable break. I mean, it's a fantastic bit of play to get themselves up there. Bodies on the line at the edge of the box as it gets cleared. And as they work their way up to the top end of the pitch towards Wrexham's goal, it's right in front of goal. The ball gets played through, and it's a fantastic save by Danny Ward. What a save when it looked like it was going to be a goal. But what a game of football. You're right, unbelievable game of football. Wrexham, good value for a 2-0 lead at the beginning of the first half, but showed such bravery, Sheffield Wednesday, in the second half. You just couldn't see where it was going to come from. But they needed a leader, they needed somebody who was going to drive them and drag them forward, and Barry Bannon came to the fore, scored a great goal and was rewarded with a second to equalise. But as a game of football, absolutely outstanding game of football. Both sides deserve real credit.
I think to sum it up, Neil, at half-time, I asked you if it was all about damage limitation for Wednesday. That was the extent to which Wrexham were on top. They looked so comfortable at 2-0 up. How much heart, when you put it in that context, can Wednesday take from that point and that performance in the second?
Well, this can be season-defining, because if you get a result like that from absolutely nothing, when everything's against you, you know, and everything's against the club, it seems, supporters turning up, following them all over the country to try and get that result. But such a performance with heart and determination second half from Wednesday. You have to give Wrexham a lot of credit as well. They were brilliant first half. Big Keith Moore causing all sorts of problems. Some great play in midfield by Lewis O'Brien, Dobson and James, all excellent. Ryan Longman delivering balls into the box all afternoon. But what a turnaround second half. Fantastic game.
You said before the game, though, there was a bit of pressure on Wrexham to get off to a winning start today. They blew their 1-0 lead at Southampton in the opening game. They've blown a lead today. It's not ideal, really, is it, for Phil Parkinson, this result?
No, it's not, but, you know, you've got to look to the first half and the way that they played and the way they got in front of goal, and they got themselves 2 in front. It could have been 3 and 4, but they hung on in there Wednesday. You know, you just couldn't see this response, although, you know, that they were showing the signs of getting back into the game, Sheffield Wednesday, late on in the second half. But what a turnaround. What a turnaround second half. Barry Bannon, for me, absolutely outstanding. You know, played well first half, ran it second half, absolutely ran it.
And you talk about that performance from Bannon there. This draw wasn't just about battling spirit, I don't think, from Sheffield Wednesday. They also played some really good football in that second half, and you feel that it won't be the last time this season that they can put in a good performance and get a result out of it.
Absolutely, yeah, and the subs that came on as well played the part. You know, I mean, you're talking about, they've got 16 players at this moment, Sheffield Wednesday, you know, that are registered, that can be in and around the first team. But like, they all stuck together, they all came on and played the part. The bodies on the line late on in the second half to create that chance, that last chance at 2-2, where they broke down the other end of the pitch. Bodies on the line at the edge of the box to begin with, and it was just an all-round unbelievable performance to witness. If that doesn't give them heart, and determination to go on and survive in this division, then I don't know what will.
Spot on. Ian Danter, Neil Redfern, thank you very much indeed. Well, what an end to the game there at the racecourse ground. Don't forget, the game day phone-in is coming up over on Talksport at 5:30. Get your calls in now to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. 03717 22 33 44. So, have you got your breath back? Quite the comeback for Sheffield Wednesday. Both them and Wrexham off the mark in the Championship. It finished at the racecourse ground. Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Here's how it sounded on Talksport 2.